Welcome to Jam TV. It's show number 25, a quarter century.
It's my time and I'm coming out to play. Get on that beat, I wanna misbehave. Yeah, go, look at me, go, make me wanna fly all the time. I'm shining now, makes no difference if the world.
Hey, Jam TV people, how you doing? It's show 25. We've done 25 of these. We do 4 more of those, like 4 reps, like 25 reps per set, and then you do 4 sets, and you get to 100 shows. I didn't rehearse this bit, but yeah, 25, and we could probably get to 100. I was just talking to my friend Bill Noman about that, and yeah, we could get to 100. We're just shooting for 88, but yeah, 100. Yeah, we could do this for another year, but maybe not. Hopefully we will be back by spring or summer or fall or at some point and all that. Meanwhile, if you feel like it, support Jam TV. There's our Venmo and there's our PayPal. I'm going to run this annoying ticker for the whole show. And with no further ado, I will bring on Bill Noman. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Ed. How you doing?
So what kind of bologna do you have today?
All right, so we were talking. You know, Ed, as you know, is a gourmet cook of some sort, and you know, I was talking about the thing that I saw that was posted most recently on Facebook. I guess I saw it twice. I guess I was seeing it for the second time, but I was looking at it today.
This is the second sandwich that's exactly the same. That's all that was.
Okay, that's what it is. Then I'm not as stupid as I think I am. Who could be? And so anyway, we got to talking about bologna, and I was talking about growing up. I grew up in Riverside and in Old Greenwich. Old Greenwich was like a legit, like little cute downtown. You know, it was kind of like kind of Fairfield-ish or Westport-ish, you know, kind of. And they had three like bona fide soda fountain kind of places there, you know, that you could get a ice cream soda for all you kids that don't know what I'm talking about. And you get a sandwich or something.
You go to the soda jerk. You're like, give me some soda with cocaine in it.
You know, with a spigot. You know, they got a spigot, right? You know, and so I was telling Ed that my go-to sandwich really was bologna and butter. I don't think it was oleomargarine, but I think it was bologna and butter on white bread. You know, and the white bread in those days, like I don't know what they put in it, but it was like the softest bread of all time. And maybe that was natural. I don't really know, you know. And the bologna was sliced so thin that if you had like a you know, maybe a quarter inch of bologna in it, it was like 20 slices. You know?
Oh, so it's like transparent, you know, transparent bologna.
And it was so good. And that with a black and white milkshake, little Billy was so happy. Go across the street to Cuffs, buy a comic book, go to Binney Park, read it.
That's great. I've got 2 bologna stories. My first bologna story is that in Austria, when I was a young kid, I didn't speak German much when I moved to Austria, and I just started school in German 3 months after that. And I didn't speak much German, and I was learning as fast as I could just from hanging out with kids. I was like 10. And my grandmother set up an account for me at one of like a deli, basically, like literally an Austrian deli. But of course, they didn't have what we have at delis. They had other stuff. And there's a thing in German called Leberkäse, which strictly translated is liver cheese. It has nothing to do with liver, and has nothing to do with cheese. And Leberkäse is essentially a big, giant piece of bologna. Right? It's like giant, I think it was square, and it was big, and they used to slice it on the meat slicer. You didn't come like bologna sliced. Sure. And they would put it on the meat slicer, and I would go in, and I'm like, put it on my grandmother's account, and they would give me like a semmel, which is like a Kaiser roll, nice and crispy, and they cut it off, whatever, and then they would fry it in butter. They would fry it.
I mean, fried bologna is a thing, man, and it's you know. There was a time when that was one of my things.
That's right. The second story is quick, and that is that I had this guy who would sort of follow me on Facebook and whatever, sort of a music fan a little bit, named Sandy Freeze. And Sandy Freeze lives. I think he toured with like Chic or something, but I'm not sure he played with them. Like he was a roadie for Chic. 'Cause I met him through some Chic people, whatever, and Chic people, and Sandy
Right.
Freeze up in St. John, New Brunswick, right? So I was going up to St. John, and I was going to take the ferry out of St. John to Nova Scotia. So I put it on Facebook, like I'm going to the ferry, and if anybody wants to have lunch with me in St. John, I've got a couple hours to kill, right? So I'm sitting in my car at the ferry, and I'm on the phone or whatever I was doing, and all of a sudden on the car, right? And I'm like, what? And I open the door, and there's Sandy Freeze. I'm like, it's Sandy Freeze. You found me in the line to the ferry, right?
Wow.
And he said, I heard you were hungry, so I took the bus over here and I brought you a half of a bologna sandwich. So you could, at a gas station, you could buy wrapped up like on a styrofoam plate with cellophane, you could buy a half of a bologna sandwich, which had a half a slice of bologna and a half a slice of like Velveeta on it and mustard. And he bought me one. And I'm like, where's yours? And he's like, no, I just bought the one. And I was like, okay, you're not going to eat? He's like, no, I've had lunch. I wanted to come down and see you and say hello. And here's your bologna sandwich. And I was like, weird gift, but thank you.
I'm just wondering now, as we're having this conversation, I'm just wondering now whether I could ever recreate like what I liked about bologna, or whether I just am too tortured by bologna at this point. But, I might have to try like a little bit of bologna, and just enough to make a sandwich or two,
Oh yeah, no, I buy the fake bologna with the chicken and turkey. That's not real bologna. It's got to be like pork and beef and sow's ears and hooves. Like that's real bologna.
Beaks and
Beaks, right.
claws.
And so, but no, I always have bologna in the house. I like bologna since I'm a kid. And I put it on fancy bread, and I put artisan lettuce, and I get wasabi. You can like dress up bologna like you can make a silk purse out of bologna.
Okay, like I know I'm cutting into like my musical time. That's okay, but wasabi. Okay, like I love wasabi. I love most things that are sort of spicy. If you're Asian, how do you eat wasabi? Do you eat wasabi like I do, as like a nasal nose blast? Or do you use it like a condiment that's, used with subtlety? Like
No,
I find
no,
that
you blow your brain out.
Like, do Asians? Is that how Asians?
Yeah,
like,
what
is
you
that
do
how-
is you get soy sauce and you get the wasabi and you mix it in and you put a little ginger in there maybe, and then you stir it up and you make this concoction that is salty and
Well, I mean, I do that, but to me, I oftentimes, if I'm at a sushi bar, I ask for extra wasabi. It's like, and I wonder whether that's just like, me like mudding up like what it's supposed to be, which is just like, some sort of subtle little, like that.
I have a theory actually. My theory is that it's about how disgusting the French are, right? The French are just disgusting. And so the French will serve you a pancreas, like you want pancreas with sauce, with this special sauce. Cream
And the sauce is bile.
Right. Bile ducks wrapped in bile duck gravy, whatever, anything. And the answer was that back when, like 10 minutes ago, before refrigeration and all that, first of all, they would use every part of the animal, and they had to get it down your gullet somehow, because otherwise you'd starve to death. And so they made delicacies out of, you put some butter, you put some flour, and you cook it up, and you make it amazing. And I think that sushi was, first of all, the Jews, like I lived in Israel for 2 years, and the Jews, they don't eat, kosher, they can't eat shellfish, right? Well, why? Because it's the Middle East, 120 degrees, and you can't get the shellfish from the ocean to your mouth without it rotting, right?
Okay.
That's the logic of it all. So, God said you shouldn't eat that. That was the logic. And I think that the reason that Mexicans eat and Indians eat super spicy food is to keep the flies off the food. It's an alternative to refrigeration.
I often thought too it was also a way to raise your body temperature, and it somehow negate cultural temperatures.
That too. But think about
Which you all
sushi.
need to really adapt that in the coming years.
Think about sushi in the pre-modern times, where they had to get it from the ocean onto your plate and whatever. And every once in a while, I'll bet you ate a really nasty piece of sushi and you put it in your mouth and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. And you spit it out. You put some wasabi in your mouth. You're fine.
I was at a basketball tournament in Kansas City. I ordered steak because you're in Kansas City. Order steak. Do it. I have the steak, and the guy I'm with, he orders like lobster. I go like, dude, you have any idea like how long the trip was for lobster to get to Kansas City? It's like, it wasn't crawfish, it was lobster. It's like, anyway. Well, that's been a great show tonight. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Good to see you.
So do you know how many people have disconnected since we started this?
6, yeah. No, we were up to 22. We're down to 14. Nobody gives a shit about what we say. But yeah, I'm sort of stretching tonight because Ray Ciminelli, Ned, Will Baird. Ned Baird? Where's that coming from?
No.
Will Baird is on vacation and can't log on. And Ray Ciminelli is on a train heading to his house so he could be on. So we're not in a rush. And
also too, last week it was only 4 songs, which was sort of unusual. If you need me to pad like actually in something other than conversation, I can actually do that.
Do 5.
Been 5. It's always been fun. It was like last week. Last week I got the hook.
You got chipped.
Sort of.
All right. Any artists want to walk in? Come on, bring it on. Play after the level. We don't have a number 2 tonight, so have fun and log on early, and I hope to see everybody. Bill, take it away.
Log on early and often. We're going to start with a little Warren Zevon song, which I just learned this week, which I've always liked, but I just never tried to play it. I can suck a woman in 2, but you won't want to look at the box when I'm through. I can make love disappear for my next trick, or I'll need a volunteer. I can pull a rabbit out of my hat. I can pull it out, but I can't pull it back. I can make love disappear for my next trick. Need a volunteer. Step right up, next trick. I need a volunteer. Step right up, my next trick. I'll need a volunteer. Well, it's lonely up here, and the tricks have been played, and the spotlight is faded, and the plans that we made have fallen apart. It's lonely as hell. There's no magic spell for a broken heart. Put me in chains, I will escape, but you better not wait, 'cause I might be late. I can make love disappear from the next trick. I need a volunteer for my next trick. I'll need a volunteer. Well, it's lonely up here, and the tricks have been played, and the spotlight is faded. Plans that we made have fallen apart. It's lonely as hell. There's no magic spell for a broken heart. I can saw a woman in 2, but you will want to look at the box when I'm through. I can make love disappear for my next trick. You need a volunteer for my next trick. I'll need a volunteer. Step right up, my next trick. I'll need a volunteer. I just love that lyric. That's a funny lyric. And now I'm slowing down, so. Really? So this is what you kids call a mashup a little bit. There's a song, a Moody Blues song that I I actually heard Steve Avitable play it, and it gave me an idea. And then I added the Munsters theme to it.
I've been thinking about a fortune. I've decided that we're really not to blame for the love that's deep inside us now. It's still the same. And the sounds we made together is the music to the story in your eyes. I've been shining down upon me now. I realize. Listen to the tides slowly turning. Watch all my heartaches away. We're part of the fire that is burning. From the ashes we can build another day. But I'm frightened for the children, for the life we're living is in vain, and the sunshine we've been waiting for will turn to rain.
In my mind, I'm playing a guitar solo here. Oh, it's amazing.
Listen to the tide slowly turning. Wash all my heartaches away. We're part of the fire that is burning. From the ashes we can build another day. But I'm fighting for the children, and the life we're living is in vain. And the sunshine we've been waiting for will turn to rain. Final line is over. It's certain that the curtain's gonna fall. I can hide inside your sweet, sweet love forevermore.
I was always kind of more of a Munsters. No, actually, that's not true. I was an Addams Family guy. But the Munsters song was kind of better. This is a song by Marshall Crenshaw.
I've been watching Addams Family from the beginning. I just started watching it last week.
Yeah.
And they do this thing like they did on Bewitched, where they bring in Morticia's sister, right?
Yeah.
And Morticia's sister is blonde.
She's
And
great, right? She's not a monster, you know.
She's played by the same actress that plays Morticia. Her name's escaping me right now.
Carolyn Jones, I think.
Yes, right. And she's gorgeous, right? First of all, she's gorgeous anyway. But she comes on and she's actually blonde. Like in life, she's actually a blonde. And had a big career as a pinup girl and a fantastic actress in a lot of movies. But it was really funny watching her try to play a sweet version, kind of sweet but ditzy and mean version of herself.
Sweet, ditzy and mean. It sounds like your bologna sandwich.
My God, you have no idea. Oh my God.
So I also like the movies of the Addams Family because Raul Julia and Angelica Houston are really good. Raul Julia is
yes, they are. But the original, is in my heart. The original.
Christina Ricci, at the Halloween show, they say she's just dressed normally, and they say, "What are you dressed as?" She said, "I'm a homicidal maniac. They look like everyone else." That's great.
Ready.
Okay, Marshall Crenshaw. Boy, are we padding it tonight, right?
The same old sounds, the same old sights, same old Friday and Saturday night. We're out all night, we must have fun. It's hard to go, but it has to be done. I'm gonna be relieved when I can finally start to the Monday morning rock. Neon lights, pink and blue, a drink in my hand and my arm around you. Heat runs on to way past dawn. The doors open up, there's a day going on. And when I know I gotta go home and set my clock to the morning rock. Ooh, Monday morning rock. Ooh, we don't have to think or stop. Ooh, Monday morning rock. Well, now everybody's all up and down my block to the Monday morning rock. Ooh, Monday morning rock. Ooh, we don't have to think or talk. Ooh, Monday morning rock. No more fun, the weekend's done. We've done our duty, now we're all alone. I touch your hand, your eyes meet mine. It's warm, it's quiet, and I'm feeling fine. Let's turn the lights and everyone lock the lock to the Monday morning rock. Ooh, Monday morning rock. Ooh, Monday morning rock.
I love Marshall Crenshaw. He played John Lennon in the original Beatlemania, and he writes amazing pop songs. Okay. Sing along at home.
Well, the first days are the hardest days. Don't you worry anymore. 'Cause when life looks like easy street, there is danger at your door. Think this through with me. Let me know your mind. Whoa, oh, what I want to know is all you kind. Say it's a dark dancer's choice, my friend. Better take my advice. You know all the rules by now, and the fire from the ice. Will you come with me? Won't you come with me? Whoa, oh, what I want to know, oh, will you come with me? God damn, will I declare, have you seen the light? Their walls are built of cannonballs. Their motto is don't tread on me. Pressure on here, Uncle John's bed by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. It's the same story the crow told. told me it's the only one he knows. Like the morning sun he come, and like the wind you go. Ain't no time to hate, barely time to wait. Oh, what I want to know, where does the time go? Fluff. I live in a silver mine, and I call it Beggar's Tomb. I've got me a violin, and I beg you, call a tune. Anybody's choice, I can hear your voice. Oh, what I want to know, how does this song go? Come here, Uncle John's bed by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come here, Uncle John's bed, playing to the tide. Come on along, go alone. It's time to take the children home. What I want to know, how does this song go?
Everybody.
Come here, Uncle John's bed by the riverside. Got some things to talk about here beside the rising tide. Come here, Uncle John's bed, playing to the tide. Come on along or go alone. He's come to take the children home.
As is authentic with the Dead, I fluffed it a little. There you go. Always makes it more authentic. That's like just like Binghamton in '71, I believe, when they played it there, and you fluff it.
That's good stuff. No, this is not the hook. This is not the hook. Just coming to say hi. Guinea Pig Theater. So you've done 23.5 of these Jam TV shows.
Yes. Well, I've done 24.
24. Yep.
Yeah, I've done 24 legit. And the one I missed was a power outage, for
That's
me.
right.
And yet, to your credit, the show went on. But
Yep.
for me, it was impossible.
Yeah, that was a weird week, whatever week that was, because the viewership was down and there weren't a lot of people on the show, probably 30-40% down overall.
Nobody,
But,
most people didn't have power, though.
They were home suffering in the heat. Ugh.
Honestly, it was like, okay, Jam TV, refrigerator,
Right.
lights.
Right. Exactly. Right.
And we're just lucky it wasn't winter,
No, we are not like an essential business, that's for sure. Although I've had a lot of people tell me that without this, they would be like, I don't know what they do, because it's the only way to get together with people that you want to see and like. And
I think without argument, I think in the world of Jam TV, you're an essential worker on the front line.
right, exactly. in the front line on pirate radio from the woods, you know?
I was actually thinking about you with the, for my next treat, for my next trick, I'll need a volunteer by Warren Zevon. I thought I just love that whole thing, but I thought that was like a fun thing. And I was thinking of you during that. It was like,
It's really funny. So there are people that watch the show every week, and then there are people that tune in, every month, once a month or something like that. Or they watch for a few minutes and then they take off the show. So this week I had an inordinate number of people, like 2 or 3, which is a lot of contact for me.
crazy. That's a quorum.
And they're like, you have got some studio there. Like, where are you? You have that studio? And I'm like, it's fake. It's fake. Oh my God, it's fake.
I'm going to send you just a couple of things that I think would be fun as backdrops, like stuff maybe from like the Paleolithic age and things like, just
Exactly.
random things that, at some point, if you ever feel like, changing the illusion.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the funny thing is that the reason that I do this, okay, is that there's a stripe on my wall. Like, okay, so home decor, there's this like piece of like wallpaper here, right?
Yeah.
That's got this curly Q and whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm sure at one point when it was put in, it looked really fantastic, right? And I log on with yeah, right. And I log on with one of my students on a Zoom call just after I moved in here in the new place. And the old place had like this beautiful wood ceiling and this beautiful background. And he said, "Are you in your bathroom?" And I said, "What do you mean?"
It does look like a little, that's a little splash panel kind of thing. Yeah.
He says, "It looks like you're in your toilet." I'm like, "No, I'm not in the toilet." And then like the next week I was in the studio and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Train is upping his game." He like broadcasting from his recording studio. And I told him several times.
Silly little student. You don't have no.
Get it. He doesn't get what I mean, that it's fake,
It's
pretty funny.
man,
Right?
it's all fake. The teacher is lying and it's all fake.
So this summer, I teach with this program called Keys out of Bridgeport. It's a nonprofit. We provide instructors to schools in the Bridgeport school system where they otherwise would not have music. And so I get a lot of kids. I have 2 kids that are dropping albums. One that we made this summer entirely, 19 songs on the record.
Wow.
He's dropping the record in 2 weeks. We're doing like a JMTV type show to promote it. And that's the kid who's like, I want a background. Like when he learned that this was fake, he's like, I want a fake background. I'm like, well, do you have a green sheet? And he's like,
I don't want to burst anyone's bubbles, but the first Star Wars, 90% of it is that.
You mean that was fake?
You know what's funny? I had a bubble burst. I'm not like a Star Wars nerd at all. I liked it in the beginning, but I never liked it better than Indiana Jones. Honestly, the first Indiana Jones, I kind of preferred that. But I saw this making of thing, and particularly the meanest Indiana Jones, which is the one where he's in India and the kids are getting tortured, and it's a very dark freaking movie. But they're going across like the little rope and it falls and there's alligators down below and everything. And at first, when you first see it, you're like, you're sort of caught up in the moment. But when you actually see one of those making of things, I mean, it's so phony. The whole thing is so funny. You can see even George Lucas, screws up, certain stuff.
Oh, yes.
Same show. They had like the first Star Wars, and you could literally see the glass plates that each different, flying warship was on. It's like, it was just kind of like, and they've cleaned that stuff up now, when they redid everything and reordered and they did all that crap, it was like they've changed it.
But they were all on Indiana Jones and on Star Wars. They were all dying of dysentery. They were on location in some godforsaken place trying to like catch the sun right in the magic hour. And they all were sick like that. When the guy comes out with the swords and Harrison Ford shoots him, whatever. Yeah. He's like, I was so sick, I couldn't even stand. Like, I stumbled out and I did that and was like, we're done for the day,
Thank God they were able to buy a lot of quinine after making those movies.
Exactly. All right, do another one.
Okay. I love James Taylor. I don't often play as much as I really should because I do love it. But
Well, the sun is surely sinking down, and the moon is slowly rising. This old world must still be spinning round, and I'd still love you. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it's all right. I don't know no love song, and I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can sing this song. You can sing this song when I'm gone. It won't be long before another day we're gonna have a good time. No one's gonna take that time away. You can stay as long as you like. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it's all right. I don't know no love song, and I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can sing this song. You can sing this song when I'm gone.
Wow, fluffy at the end. That was kind of like the way he played it when he was at McLean, the Psychiatric Institute. Anyway. Hello, Patrick. I can't hear anybody. Only myself.
You can't hear me. Look what we got. We got Pat Padula.
How goes it, man?
Oh, no, you can't hear him either.
Can't hear him.
Silent Pat Padula. We're going to try to fix the audio issues. No, I don't have you, Pat. Maybe unplug that contraption or whatever that thing is you have there.
Is that a bong? Like,
It
what the
looks
hell?
like some sort of paraphernalia, but I think it's some sort of microphone, extended microphone. Yeah, I knew it was one of those, and it's messing you up somehow.
If I'm not mistaken, that's an IUD. I kind of remember that.
IUD, great. Exactly. My girlfriend in college had one of those. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
No, I mean the microphone.
Yeah. I remember I once discovered in I'm fishing around my parents' bathroom, you know, like for a while. I don't know why, whatever. But I found like my mother's diaphragm. Like I didn't know what it was, but it's like, you know, and it's powdered and there it is. And I'm looking at it and I'm just thinking like, wow, my father has the widest and shortest penis in history. Hey, they're both dead. They can't, you know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know.
Yeah, I found my dad's balloons and I blew them all up and left them all over my room.
That's like a whole generational, you know, like my old man, you know.
I was like, look, I blew up all your weird balloons, you know.
Patrick, come in, Patrick.
Exactly. Patrick, where are you? No, I don't hear you. He's going to work on it. You might have to log back out and then log back in because maybe you didn't give it permission the right way or something. You can hear me, right? Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you work on that a little bit. And Bill, do one more song. Now you're going to get the hook after one more.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna do a very deep cut. It's by the band The Tubes, who a lot of people think are just sort of a novelty band, but they actually were really great musicians and they wrote some great songs. And this is kind of a income inequality bossa nova thing called Young and Rich. Fingers crossed. Young and the rich. Everything I desire
light bulbs with shades in every room. And work isn't play, believe me. Nothing must come too hard. It comes in the mail most every day. I could respect a man who had it all and tossed the ball away. Kitty! I know I'm not the kind I'm like to find a toss goal in my way. Famous friends, big parties for me every night, like tonight. Am I a fool to want it all? I could respect a man who had it all and he tossed the ball away. I know I'm not the kind who needs to find out fault up my way. Young and the rich, with everything I desire. Everything I need, every room, in every room, in every room. Everything I desire, fitting every room, everything I need. Well, maybe some things I don't really need.
Very nice, very nice.
You know, there's a someday when we get back into like, you know, face-to-face stuff and then it's something like, you know, Bobby Hughes or whatever, something like that, there's a massively fabulous little organ part for that in a break that would be, you know, I'm just saying.
Why don't we do it as a collaborative video?
We could do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about that. Remind me, like write it down and send me a note and say, here's the song. They send me a link to YouTube or something, and
I'll send it to you, and I'll send you the chords and all that. You know, so that
we can build it out with some other cool stuff, maybe some percussion or you know, whatever.
We're actually working on that with. We're trying to do a Crispin and Friends thing like that, and you know, because Crispin's doing a lot of virtual stuff now. That's really the only work he's doing right now. Sure. You know, and. We're trying to put together the great song that we play live a lot called "Compared to What," the Eddie Harris, Les McCann song, and we do it kind of. The band Orleans did a tremendous arrangement of it that, you know, that rivaled the original, which rarely happens. You know.
Yeah, right.
But it's a big production number for us, and we're going to try to like put that together. And
that's really cool.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of them. Mike Baumwall and I have sort of started an informal partnership called Last Minute Production, and we do all these videos. And
Uh-huh.
tonight, you got to check out the one tonight. We did a Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings tune,
Awesome.
and with Holly McCreary, Holly, whatever her name is, McNerney, singing it, right?
Yep.
And it'll always be Holly McCreary to be in my brain. And
Yep.
and we have Heidi doing backup vocals, like killing it.
Nice.
And a full horn section, including Alicia
Awesome.
Rao from New York, and a cast of regulars. And we worked really hard on it, and it's just so hard. You know, you produce a 3.5 minute song, and you get to the end of it, and people are like, "Oh, that was good. Okay, let's see Bill Nolan do another song." Like, "Oh my God, Bill just whipped it off. We did 20 hours of work." You know?
No, but you know what? It's it's like in talking with Crispin about doing this thing. You know, he's talking about like doubling the horns, and then I'm going to do a rhythm guitar, and then I'm going to have a lead guitar that'll be different, and then I might even put keyboards on it, even that. As pathetic as I am at keyboards, but I mean,
yeah, right. But you
awesome.
let me know if I can help with that in any way. You let me know. We're like become a production company for these collaborative videos, and we put them out every week, and we're having a blast doing it. It's a lot of work. Last night I mixed for 5 hours on the Sharon Jones tune, and we're taking it to that level where we have have 4 horns, and I'm moving notes around, like it's just crazy.
Wow.
But it's really worth it.
But you know what? To me, my perspective on the thing, because you see a lot of stuff out there where they don't take the time and they don't do those things. And honestly, it sits there as a tribute to your whatever. Either your professionalism or you're not, And
no, but you know what? Here's what's interesting. I want to do some more collabs that are like, I call them run and gun, like you get in, you play your part, you synchronize it up, and it's out. You don't mess with the production values. You don't mess with making it I'm taking it as an opportunity to mix like a professional engineer for 5 hours, but I'm not Steely Dan here.
How does it start? What is the first? Is it click track with something?
Yeah. So the way that we make it work, and everybody has their own way of working. I did one with Frank Tosto this week, and he built his own backing track with the musicians. Like they passed it around somehow. I was the last guy in playing an accordion part. I'm going to play that tonight too. And
the accordion guy's always going to be the last guy in. You don't lead with the accordion guy.
Last guy to the party.
Wait till the accordion player lays it down, and then we'll all follow him. No,
the party doesn't start till the accordion player.
No one ever.
So Randy Brody, right? I'm going to bring some people in to say hi. Hold on. I'm going to add some people. How about that?
People.
How you doing? So Randy Brody gave me a receipt that his mother gave him that was the receipt for the accordion player for his bar mitzvah in like 1952, right?
It's a mitzvah. Right.
Yeah. The accordion player got $150 in 1952, which is like $2,000.
Well, the funny thing is, he'd still get $150 in 2020.
Exactly.
If he's lucky.
Exactly. Unbelievable. Hey, Pat, say something. Can we hear you? No, it is silent, Pat Padula. It's good to see you, Pat. We're going to work on your audio problem, maybe get you going.
Why don't you put out a call to some lip readers? Get some lip readers.
Exactly. We're going to get somebody to stand behind. And why do lip readers?
Nice.
Why do they all look like weird, angry people? Because they're like this. Here's the governor going, "Yeah, and we're going to try to reopen the schools," and they're like they're going crazy behind him. Like
oh yeah, the translators.
No, the sign language people.
Yeah, well, I mean, I forget. There's one guy in particular, and it could be Lamont or it could be Cuomo, but there's one guy in particular as a translator, and he's like a Russian folk singer. He's so angry, It's just
yeah, that's the guy. I know that guy. Yeah,
it's just like Rory.
Hey, Rory.
Can we hear you?
I'm here.
There we go.
Rory's there. Charles is there eating Triscuits.
Okay.
Bill Nolan
I'm not muted or anything, right?
Disparaging crackers. No, I hear you fine. Bill Nolan was disparaging crackers earlier on in the show. He was like, "That's not a real gourmet dinner. Your crackers with your bologna."
You talking animal crackers or oyster crackers or what?
This is classic. This is classic. I was taken out of context. This is like classically taken out of context. I was saying that Ed had set the bar so high for his like gourmand
There
posting
you go.
on Facebook that I'm looking at one thing and it looks like I got freaking soda crackers with whatever, and it turns out it's a bologna sandwich, which we've already talked bologna and
Those crackers, whatever they little square ones with the cheesies, they're so good. Like I had them with my bologna sandwich. I was like, I have arrived.
I've got some russet potato chips in my future, like my near future. That's my
I like
food.
Triscuits.
Exactly.
I hope you're getting paid to have those things out front and center like that. I hope
Yeah, exactly. Brought to you by Bobby Hughes and Triscuits.
with mouthfeel, you know.
You know, the Cobb's Mill Inn, where we kind of really sunk our teeth into jamming when we got started up there. They used to have a Blue Bonnet margarine commercial shot at Cobb's Mill.
Wow.
And they're like, the lady that runs Cobb's Mill, this is like back in the 50s, the lady that runs, she will only use Blue Bonnet with her lobsters. I'm like, really? Like Blue Bonnet with the lobster?
Is margarine even still a thing?
No, you can power vehicles with it now. That's fashionable.
Sorry. Well,
Not like the movie theater, though.
right.
Exactly. I'm good, Rory Gordon.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Busy, but, you know, I'd rather be busy than not busy.
Glad you're busy. What are you busy doing?
Oh, you know, my company, my job is, I never know what's going to happen the next day. You know, I talked to Randy about it. You know, I'm in publishing. My company's the biggest producer of trade shows on the planet. So you can imagine how that's going right about now.
So
Super.
they're moving them all online. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, we're trying to convince everybody that an online one is as good as going. It's a food show and everybody goes to taste the food, but you know, we can't do it. So it's all this chaos and a lot
That's
of
tough
extra
to do
hours and
online.
stuff.
Food tasting is tough online.
What food
Yeah.
show? What food show is it?
Well,
At least where? What city?
well, we have our show is called MUFSO, Multi-Unit Food Service Operators. That's in Denver.
Wow.
We just missed NRA, not that NRA, the National Restaurant Association. That kind of, everything that can.
Like you go to the NRA show and eat venison all day. You know?
It's actually the National Ravioli Association. They're having
That's
a
right.
show.
Yeah, that's National Ravioli Association. You know, and Wednesday's a big day there. So,
No,
Friday's
the reason
kind of
I'm
a rule
asking about
day.
a food show is that there was a really bad recession that Charles has never heard of because he wasn't born yet. Probably it was in 1992. When were you born, Charles?
1981.
Oh my God, you're
Oh
old.
my God.
You're almost as old as us. Oh my God, I thought you were
No,
like.
that's not even close.
Look at that.
Wow.
So there was a big recession in 92, like a nasty one, right? Where everybody was out of work and everybody was sitting at home going, I don't know what my future is. And you blow through all your, you're like, oh my God, it's all over. It's never coming back. And I rented my room in my house. Like I owned a house in Weston and I rented out 2 rooms. One, this lovely woman who was the former wife of the head of Pepsi for Asia. And she cooked Thai food really, really well. The other guy was
this was great with Pepsi. Yeah.
the former creative director of Saatchi & Saatchi Advertising, right? And so they're both living in my house. He's Italian and an amazing, like 5-star chef, like phenomenal chef. So we were like all dying. They weren't paying rent. I was late on my mortgage. It was like nobody was making money, and it was really bad. But Mark, the Saatchi & Saatchi guy, he said, I have an idea. I'm going to go to the Jacob Javits Center, has a Italian-American food festival, a trade show where everybody goes around and tastes the food, right? And I go, what's your idea? He says, I'm going to go in there on my credentials from Saatchi, and I'm going to say, I will virtually volunteer. He designed the whole look of the trade show, and all the banners and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So they gave him a tremendous budget, but not a lot of salary, right? So he did it on the cheap. He got the business. And then he said, here's what I need. I want photographs. The theme is photographs of Italian food built into cityscapes. So we're going to go into the studio and we're going to build the skyline of Rome, whatever, I don't know, in bottles of wine. So Italian food is wine, cheese, olive oil, and pasta, right? And so he said, I need pasta. I will build a cityscape out of pasta, and I'll build giant wheels of cheese made into skyscrapers and whatever. And then after the shoot, he got a truck and he brought all the food to my house.
Nice.
Yeah. So we had pasta, like 1,000 different kinds of pasta, 200 bottles of wine, giant wheel, thousands of dollars of cheese.
The twin tortellinis, you ate those?
And we ate all that stuff every night of the week and played music in the house for a year until the economy came back. So that's my trade show.
Trade show story. Well, the last show I was scheduled to go to got canceled a while back. That was the National Nightclub and Bar Show in Vegas. And having that canceled was probably not the worst thing that ever happened. What could possibly go wrong at a bar show in Vegas?
Right, exactly.
So I'm probably glad that I missed that one.
Whatever went wrong, it stays.
Stayed in Vegas, except for the part that went online.
I visited a waterbed
And the
factory.
part that you need medication for, that part.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You don't want to tell your clients that, oh, don't worry about it. You just go online. You pay us the same amount of money. We'll take you online. And then when the pandemic's over, they're like, kind of like being online.
Well, I mean, honestly, isn't there, I was watching the NFL draft with my son, and he says, like, why would the NFL want to fly 60, prospects there, rent Radio City Music Hall, blah, 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 blah. Why would they want to do that? Where instead, ESPN can send a guy with a handheld to a living room, and you get to see like him with his parents, which is almost better anyway, Right. Why would you ever go back to that?
Right.
And expanding that to a whole bunch of things, boy, it's hard to imagine, if you can, not spend more money and ride your employees like Georgia mules, you will do it because it's profitable.
We got 2 floors in Midtown Manhattan. They're right about now, they're realizing how little they need them.
Right.
So.
A long time ago, it was like photographers, New York photographers during the recessions, and when things, when suddenly every guy with a digital camera thought he was Pete Maisel, and suddenly all of those really cool bumper pool, like all of the studios that were like so hip, and they were vanity studios, and that's why you half of the reason you're gone, and all those people with workspaces and. It's a bummer, I think, but it is what it is, and there's no.
All right, Charles, play us out of our bummer. We're bummed out now. Play us out.
You better be freaking optimistic, man. That's all I'm saying. No pressure.
I'll play a couple of Bird Index songs, as is my wont.
There you go.
This is an old Bird Index song. It's called "The Spy," and it goes like this. Sitting on a bench, walking tough, man doesn't even know which way to go. And it doesn't care, cause it's been a while since he's had a good reason to know. For 23 years he worked for a man in a charcoal coat, but they don't require his services anymore. Sitting on his hands cause it's been a week since they told him that he needed to leave. Staring at the phone cause he doesn't know who said of the story he can't believe. 17 days he's been down in a chair waiting for their call, but they don't require his services anymore. He's a hero, a legend, he's nobody new. And you think that you could do better than him? Are you better than him? Fall more. All right.
Nice.
That's about a spy whose services are no longer needed.
All right, do another one, Charles. Go do another one for us.
All right. This is a new one. This is a sort of a 50s style tune. And stay tuned for more from the Bird Index along those lines, including the announcement of a new Bird Index lineup, which will be coming very soon. And will be exciting news to at least 3 people. This is called Gladys, I'm Glad. Gladys, I'm glad. Oh, Gladys, I'm glad. When I first met you, my heart skipped a beat. And now that I found you, my world is complete. Gladys, I'm glad, glad to know that you are mine. Oh, oh, yes. When we're together, there's joy in my heart, and nothing but sorrow when we're apart. Gladys, I'm glad, glad to know that you are mine. And one day we'll be married, and our love will be made real. Oh, Gladys, I love you, darling, and nothing will change how I feel. And as we grow older, we're closer than ever. Gladys, my baby, I'll leave you never. Gladys, I'm glad, glad to know that you are mine. And one day we'll be married, and our love will be made real. Oh, Gladys, I love you, darling, and nothing can change how I feel. And now that we're older, we're closer than ever. Gladys, my baby, I'll leave you never. Gladys, I'm glad, glad to know that you are mine. Glad to know that you are mine.
Really nice.
Thank you very much.
So what's going on with Burn Dead Next now? What are you guys up to?
We have a new member. We have a bass player, an official bass player now by the name of Meg, who I think is watching right now. Hi, Meg.
That's very cool. Are you going to do a collaborative video?
We will at one point. Yes, we'll send it along. We'll be happy to have it featured as part of the Jam TV.
I like that. So are you doing recording otherwise? I mean, you're not obviously like on a world tour or anything like that.
No, we're doing some. We're going to be starting some recording here fairly soon, and that tune that I just played is going to be one of the new songs that we do. We're sort of doing concept album going back through the years. So don't want to say too much about it now, but
That sounds great.
Hopefully we'll have it done by sometime by the end of the year or early next.
That sounds great. Yeah, I was wondering, like, bands, like, what's Elton John doing right now? Are they in the studio? Are they recording? Or what are they spending their time on during the pandemic? Making product, writing music? I don't know. I'm doing collaborative videos in this show, but you got to find something to do, and there's a lot of talent sitting out there doing nothing in terms of live performance. So you guys are staying busy.
I've been eating a lot of Triscuits and drinking Crystal Pepsi that I hoarded in 1993.
Yeah, right, exactly. But you are also doing a lot of music. How much time do you spend doing music, do you think?
A good amount, between just everyday practice and band rehearsals and recording ideas and things like that, probably 10, 20 minutes a week.
20 minutes?
Maybe a little bit more than that, just as much as my neighbors can stand. But yeah, it's definitely tough. As we've said many times, we were the first show that got axed at the barbecues when everything.
You were. And you'll be the first show when it comes back.
Good to know. We'll have a brand new set, a brand new lineup, and we're gonna rock that barbecue restaurant like it's been rocked several times before. But we'll do it again.
That's great. I was looking forward to that show. I was so bummed out. That I never even reached out to you. I was like, I guess he probably heard that the whole world is closed now.
I just assumed that you hated my guts.
Right. Yeah, clearly. We did the last show with Eric Rabaska with Light Warriors, and we did the last show, and we were looking at each other, and Bobby and I were talking with Eric the day of, and we were like, are we supposed to do this? They say we can have 200 people, and it's probably going to be 40 people, so are we being responsible? What do we do? And I was like, I don't know. Let's just do it and be careful. And we did it. And the next day, people were like, I can't believe you did that. You're single-handedly responsible for the trouble in the world. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't know. Now I know.
It was a crazy time. Right around mid-March was a crazy time.
Right.
Sports leagues were shutting down, and nobody knew if it was going to be weeks or months or what the deal was. But
3 days. My school said, we're going to close for 3 days to clean the school. We're open on Monday. Don't worry about it. And I was like, boom.
Yeah, and they're still not open, are they?
No, they're coming back a little. They're trying it, but I'm worried about all that. I think somebody's going to get sick, and they're like, "That's it. We're all closed again." So I'm happy. We'll keep doing this until we're done.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Charles. Good to see you.
You too.
We'll be right back with Rory Gordon, and we got Joe Mayo, and we got Pat Padula in the studio. Great to see you. I'll see you soon. Hey, all y'all. How you doing? Rory Gordon, turn off your Facebook feed. I can hear somebody. Joe Mayo, how are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Everything good?
More or less. Yeah.
More or less. That's all one can hope for.
That's very true.
Pat Padula, is your microphone working? No, your microphone is not working. We can't get it.
I heard that.
We're going to have the Phantom. Oh my God. It says, I don't even know what's going on here. Is that Chinese? Is that written in Chinese?
No, it's written backwards.
It's written backwards. You got his camera backwards. You're backwards. You are a backwards man, Pat Padula. It's good to see you. I'm glad to see you. All right, I'm going to play this for Pat Padula. I'm going to play 60 seconds of this because I do it every show. Last show I played the whole thing, and then we'll bring on Rory Gordon, and then we're going to bring on Joe Mayo. Here it is. That was a very, very drunk Steve Wexler that night. I wish I could hear you, Papadilla, but I can't. So, Rory Gordon, why don't you take it away? Do
Drum solo.
yeah, exactly.
Want me to do something?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. I know somebody and they cry for you. They lie awake at night and dream of you. I bet you never even know it's true, but somebody's crying. I know somebody and they call your name 1,000,000 times and still you never came. They go on loving you just the same. I know that somebody's trying. So please return the love you took from me. So please let me know if it can't be me. I know when somebody's lying. I know when somebody's lying. Give me a sign, let me know if you don't love me like I love you. But if you cry at night the way I do, I know that somebody's lying. So please return the love you took from me. So please let me know if it can't be me. I know when somebody's lying. I know that somebody's crying.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's Chris Ivan. Is that me echo? Why am I causing the echo? Or am I?
No, that's Jet Joe Mayo. That's okay. I'll mute him for now. Yeah, I got a little echo. Just turn your radio set down, son.
He's not really a tech guy.
Yeah, right, exactly. What does he know about technology? It's like he just invented semiconductors for breakfast this morning. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Do another one, Rory. Come on.
Okay. Let me use you. I tuned the other guitar up for something. So.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we're still having fun on Jam TV. We're still making this work. It's the 25th show. We've been at this for 25 weeks.
Feels like 25 years, right?
Feels like 25 years. It's absolutely true. No, it's mind-blowing. It really is mind-blowing that we've been doing this for so long. And meanwhile, if anybody's watching and you feel like contributing to our effort for Jam TV, it would be much appreciated. There's our Venmo and our PayPal. It's ticking on the bottom of the screen.
There on the bottom of the screen.
There it is, right there. And yeah, it every little bit helps. You know, like a lot of us, working musicians, we're all wondering, like, what happened? Like, I was going so well, you know? And so if you, I have some great donors and benefactors, and it's really great. Thank you, everybody who's donated. And if you're going through the crapper too, and you can't donate, I love you twice as much. Just if you can, that would be great. So good to see you all.
Yeah. Hey, Ed, did you ever want to lug equipment around so much in your life?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, I'm gaining weight. My muscle tone is going down. I'm like, that was my health club. My health club was, lugging gear at Bobby Q's and at other venues,
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Hit another one here?
Yeah, go for it. What do you got?
All right. I usually do this with the harmonizer, but I am too lazy to hook it up, so we'll just.
All right.
Been away, haven't seen you for a while. How have you been? Take your style and do your thing. That we've grown up differently. Can't seem to stay now that you've lost your feeling for me. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, oh. I'm going back to a place that's far away. How about you? Have you found a place to stay? Why should I care? Well, I'm just trying to get along. We were friends, but now it's the end of our love song. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, oh. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, oh, oh.
Phenomenal.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Super good. That's a great
We had
tune.
a great tune. It sounds so good with the harmonies, but that's, pedals and wires and all that nonsense. But
Yeah, right. It's nice, kind of organic. It's a good piece of songwriting.
yeah, it really is. He didn't write that. I just found that out.
Really?
The guitarist in his band wrote that. I also didn't know that he played on All Along the Watchtower, but he did. He played.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he played all that acoustic guitar in the background. But I was looking up the chords for this. It's all open tune, but yeah, he didn't write that actually.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a great tune. I remember that when it was new,
Yeah, right. Yeah, that you could see where you were when you heard it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's
Hey,
my
Joe.
song.
Oh,
He was going to do it.
I play
Yeah,
that
sure.
song all the time.
you know some card tricks, Joe.
Ha!
Let's see a dance or something.
Oh yeah.
Do you really do that all the time?
Oh, yeah, I sing that all the time.
Oh, okay. I wish we could do a little duo and do the harmonies.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I did
Hey,
that
Ed,
once.
when you do those collaborations, what software is that?
Well, so I use all my pro tools, you know, not pro tools. I use my professional tools. I use Ableton Live to do the audio mix on those collaborations because I'm an Ableton head. It's like Pro Tools basically, and I use Final Cut Pro to do all the video work. But
Yeah.
Michael actually uses a program called Camtasia for the video work. Michael Baumwald does a lot of the video work on those, and I do most of the audio work on those. And we're putting way too much time in. There's two ways to do these collaborative videos. One way is you run and gun it. You record your track, you put it in GarageBand, you sync it up, and boom, you're done. Right? Nothing fancy. And I admire that a lot. People that can work that way. I'm too much of a nerd where I'm like, I've got to spend 7 hours mixing the audio. You know, like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really happy. It's keeping me active in my mind, and it's sharpening my skills. We've done about 20 of them so far, but there's a lot of cursing. I mean, Michael and I were working today on the video we're going to play tonight in about an hour, and we did a Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings tune, and we produced the crap out of it. It looks great. It sounds great, but it's like version after version, and this isn't quite right, and that isn't quite. We're re-rendering and sending files. It's like, you know, frustrating. We get done and we're like, why are we doing this? Like, oh yeah, because it's fun, you know?
Yeah, you have to remember that part. I've messed around with a couple of those little phone apps, acapella and stuff, but then that's nowhere near, you know, there's no syncing up or time
It's amazing, but it's hard to see. One of the problems is if you're doing it yourself, something like acapella is fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it with other people, you start with one thing, and then the next one makes a little timing mistake or a little, and then the next person gets it, and they're like, I don't know, do I follow the drummer or the bass player? And then the next one, so it's a cascading set of problems. By the time you get to the end, everything's a little out of sync, and the groove got missed, and that's the problem with all of this. We don't get to see each other and watch each other's hands and watch each other doing this. So you got
a friend of mine that's into software and everything. He does a blog. He sent me a link to some company that's working on, you know, the live synced up live thing. And I read it, and it was the most complicated thing I ever read. The odds of it working correctly, like 1,000,000 to 1. And my friend said, yeah, you're just scratching the surface of being able to do it. But
yeah, no, we got to have 7G, not 5G.
Yeah, 4G, that's right.
We got to get so far. You know, the latency, you know, has to be so low. You know, maybe with Elon Musk's Starlink or whatever, we got to get the latency down so that there's no time delay. And right now, there's quite a time delay.
Yeah.
It's a miracle they can do it at all, but it's still not. It's like the golden age of wireless, where you're like, can you hear me in Europe? No, you know, like it's a miracle it works at all.
We were about where the Beatles were with the PA in Shea Stadium, where they just pumped it through the house PA.
Right, like nobody knew.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Hey, Joe, were you really going to do that song, or?
No, I do it all the time, though.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, and I usually do it solo because everybody that, you know, I play guitar and I sing, and sometimes I've pulled that out on people and they can't figure it out. You know, there's some weird time changes in it. But
it's syncopated, yeah.
Yeah, one day I did it with the Cartels. We had the Cartels trio at Sarah Mogley Winery out in, way the hell out in eastern Connecticut. And both of those, Karen and Joe Greco, just chimed in perfectly on the harmony. I felt like I died and gone to heaven.
Yeah, it's great when the harmony's in there.
Oh.
It is. It's tricky. It's not hard. You just have to know it because it does a little chord shift really quick. Yeah.
Right. It's a great song, though. It's one of my favorites of all time. And,
it is.
I call it the happiest breakup song ever.
So good. Maybe they'll get back together at some point. You know.
Very cool. Rory, nice job on those songs. Really great.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Super good. Good to see you.
You
I hope you're well. I'm glad you're busy. I'm glad Are you still commuting into the city? Or are you doing that?
Oh no, they cut that off in March. We haven't been back. They had just before this all started. They gave us those open air offices where everyone sits in everybody else's lap, and there's no partitions of any kind in your shoulders because it fosters camaraderie and all that crap. But now I don't know. Even if they opened it, you couldn't possibly go back to it. It's the absolute worst scenario for an office. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I work from home, or I go to Starbucks up in New Canaan, and type on.
I figured you were talking about your 2 floors of office space in Manhattan, and I thought, are you like going to Manhattan? Like nobody's doing that.
Yeah, no, that place is a ghost town since March. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We're just zoomed out of our minds here with what we do is Zoom work all day. But the companies, at some point they're just going to look around and go, "What are we renting this place for?"
Right.
Or they might lose a floor or shrink it down or something. But at this point, I virtually never have to go back to the office for work. I have to hold on to my job somehow. We'll see what happens with the economy. But I don't have to commute to the city anymore.
Right, exactly. And I think that the government right now is providing a lot of free money out there, and so they're saying, like for example, I'm in a homeowners association here with like 2,000 or some large number and there's a pool, right? And so I look around the pool. I was in the pool this afternoon for 15 minutes between running around and doing things, and I went down to the pool, and there were I counted 14 employees, and there were 4 of us in the pool, right? And you're like, how are they doing this? And the answer is they've got the clubhouse is closed. The snack bar is closed. The security office is closed. The place where they check your badges is closed. All of those people were like, they either lay them off, but the government has said, I don't want them laid off getting unemployment. I would rather lend money to the business, keep them on, have them sitting around, and then next year they're still around, for like they preserve their workforce.
Right.
And then the government says, so we'll lend you the money, but if you spend it on payroll, you spend it on legitimate stuff instead of, parties in the south of France, then we'll let you keep the money. You don't even worry about it. And that's why a lot of businesses are like, we're going to keep our space because the government's paying us to keep our space. They don't want the landlord to go out of business and the bank that put the mortgage to go out of business. They don't want an unraveling of everything. So anyway, I think that's what's going on. They're just holding it together, hoping and praying that there'll be some vaccine or some solution to all of this.
Yeah, I know that I'm reading trials left, trials right. Hard to cut through all the smoke and mirrors, but
it's impossible because there's a presidential election going on, so it's impossible.
Yeah.
So, like, I saw a report today, and they're like, it was kind of a right-leaning news channel, not like crazy news channel, but like a right-leaning news channel, and they were like, it looks like there could be a vaccine in October, or right after the election, so the Republicans can say, we did it, we solved it, it's all great, right? And then the next story that popped on, like a news feed that has lots of different sides, was a slightly left one, not crazy left one, but a slightly left one. And they had Anthony Fauci on, like the next shot. And he's like, yeah, probably December, January is the earliest for anything, maybe later. So it's like, wait, is it October? Is it January? They'll tell us November 4th. They'll tell us,
It's Venus and Mars, but I get all my news from Facebook, so I know that that's accurate.
Me too. Facebook, awesome news. It's like this. I think I hate you. You're a murderer. You are. No, you are. That's how I get.
I know all these people that I know that have unfriended each other. I don't know. I'll have to next week. I'll have to learn. Get together by the young bloods and try to bring everyone back.
Exactly. Oh my God. Like I had a middle-aged movie director, white guy, right? And I said, hey everybody, like happy 4th of July was my post. That was the spirit of my post. And he goes, don't you shove your white supremacy down my throat, you Nazi. Go back to Germany and party with Adolf Hitler. And I was like,
shit.
I just said happy Halloween. I just said happy July 4th. And then I researched it all, and there's a whole big number of people out there that are like, no, anything American is Trump, and anything American is evil. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait till we don't have to do this anymore after the election's over. You know?
I like Facebook better when it was the pictures of your dog and your vacation.
That's what I do. That's all I do. I put food.
Yeah, but you put up your left-wing dog is what you did. That's what you Your dog was leaning to the left. He was peeing on a fire hydrant, but he was leaning left.
My dog always pees to the left. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My God. Good to see you, Rory Gordon.
Thanks, Ed. I'll watch for a while, but guys, have fun.
Yeah, hang out. Hey, Joe Mayo, what are you going to do for us?
Hey, well, first of all, I got to ask you a question. Is there any way for me to widen this camera view out so I pull it back? Or
you want to make it wider?
No, I want to pull it back so that I can actually, you can see me playing guitar.
Oh, you got to move back. You got to actually physically go west, man. You know, go there.
I can't do that because these headphones, I got headphones if you notice. But if I pull back, the headphones will pull the computer off the table. And that.
Yeah, see, I have all this room here. I've got like 20 feet before I hit the monitor. You know, it's like, ow, ow. It's fake.
Hey, how did you do that?
No, I'll tell you how I did it. I was talking about earlier in the show. I teach online, right? You probably teach online too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm teaching online, and my student, I move in my new place where I'm up against the wall, and he sees this stripe on the wall, and he says, "Are you in your bathroom?" And I'm like, "Am I in my bathroom? No, I'm not in my bathroom." So the next week, I'm like, "I'm in the studio now." And he's like, "Oh, Mr. Train, you're the coolest with the coolest studio." Every once in a while, I reach back and I'm like, you know, turning knobs. I'm like, hold on. Let me
just to mess with him.
Get the fader on the mixer here, you know.
That's like Wile E. Coyote with the tunnel on it.
Exactly. That's exactly who I am. I am Wile E. Coyote with the tunnel getting run over. My God.
Super genius.
Exactly.
I like the sound of that.
All right, Joe Mayo, sing us a song.
All right. I'd like to take this lighter mood and darken it up a little bit. I heard this song, I don't remember exactly when I heard the song, but it floored me, and it made me want to sing it, so here it is. I'll tell you what it is afterwards. In my rearview mirror, the sun is going down, sinking behind bridges in the road. And I think of all the good things that we have left undone. But I suffer premonitions, confirmed suspicions of the Holocaust to come. The rusty wire that holds the cork that keeps the anger in gives way, and suddenly it's daylight again. The sun is in the east, even though the day is done. Two suns in the sunset. Could it be the human race is run? The moment when the brakes lock and you slide towards a big truck, you stretch the frozen moments with your fear, and you'll never hear their voices, and you'll never see their faces. You'll have no recourse to the law anymore. And as the windshield melts and my tears evaporate, leaving only charcoal to defend. Finally, I understand the feelings of the few. Ashes and diamonds, foe and friend, we were all equal in the end. That's Pink Floyd.
Wow.
Two Sons in the Sunset.
That's really cool. Is that really
It was
old
actually
Floyd?
on one of their last albums, but it dates back to about 1980.
Oh, wow.
That's, I think, when I first heard it, and it blew my head off, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I finally had to learn. There's a couple of songs like that. Next time I'm doing Sniper by Harry Chapin. Talk about a song that got into my head and drove me crazy for about a year until I finally figured out what it was really all about. But
Those were dark lyrics.
yeah, well,
there.
I didn't write them.
No, they were cool. That's off their Christmas album, isn't it?
Exactly.
Holiday favorites by Floyd.
It's a Muslim Christmas, you know. Oh God.
Right, the Muslim's prayer.
Exactly. Oh my God. How you doing, Dennis?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you tonight?
Good to see you. I realize you and I are starting to look more and more like each
I
other.
know,
in
right?
the pandemic, right? Like we got the same barber, we get the beard starting to get fuller, you know.
Yeah, mine's a little thinner on top there.
Yeah, well, okay. And my eyebrows are there, whatever. But it's
Yeah.
like everybody's like Joe Mayo, are you like sneaking out and getting haircuts? Is that what's going on?
I actually got one haircut.
God.
My
One.
barber is open, but there's they're all covered up with stuff, and this is the
Like
first
black.
haircut I've had in since the pandemic started.
You don't go to that little
January.
barber shop up the post road from you, do you? Behind Joe's restaurant or Joe's Cafe or whatever that's called. That little tiny barber shop in Fairfield. It's not far from where you live.
No, actually, I go to the one in Southport that's right down the road from the Horseshoe.
Oh yeah, okay, I know where you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going there for years.
No, I've decided officially. I don't know if I declared this on the show yet, but I decided I'm going to let my hair grow until this is over. Yeah, oh, it's
It'll
right.
be a long time.
You're letting your freak flag fly.
That's what Guy said the other day. Guy Pacino wrote me, and he was like, "It's like let your freak flag fly." I'm just going to let it go until the pandemic's over because when else can I do this craziness? You know,
No,
Yep.
I can dig it.
cool stuff. So do another one. You got one more?
Oh, let's see.
And you got to tell me, are you gigging at all? Do you have? Are you doing studio work? Are you,
I've had like 2 gigs, appropriately socially distanced, behind plastic, things with Aztec two-step, and I did a trio gig outdoors with Gene Pino and Steve Taylor, and I'm teaching online. And I did maybe one studio thing online, but
Yeah, right.
Actually, I did 2 or 3, but it's not like.
Yeah, no, I'm more was interested. It wasn't geared like the question wasn't are you working? The question is like, are there like even you because you are connected in ways that most of us in this local community are not
Well.
connected in. And is your phone ringing or are you like sitting home going, what happened to my career as a musician?
Oh, my career as a musician is shot to shit.
My
Let's
God.
face it.
Yeah, like a live gig. I played with Soul Daddy the other day at a private thing. The audience was maybe 20 people. It was on a rooftop in Stamford. And they're like, yeah, if you invite anybody, like invite one person or two people, you know, like keep it really small. Dennis came to that gig.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, my instinct as a performer is to say, oh, it was a great time. I had such a great time. It was weird. It was weird playing and see. I'm like, oh, they're dancing and having a good time, but I'm going to be locked up again for the winter. You know, this
We
is
had a
not
good
gonna
time.
happen. It was
for
fun,
sure.
but it reminded me of what I'm missing. You know, what I've lost.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's yeah, that's a one. When I did that trio gig with Gene Pino and Steve, it was at a yacht club, so everybody was way spread out,
Right.
and we were together but spread out, and it was outdoors, and the fact that people would come by and clap was. It was a revelation. It was,
Yeah.
oh my God, do I miss this?
Right.
I mean, I'm not an egotistical maniac or anything, but Jesus, that's what I was put on earth to do.
A little
And it's-
bit's nice, you know.
Yeah, a little recognition is terrific.
Oh my God! I ran into Bill Harris the other day. You know Bill Harris, right?
Yeah,
Great saxophone player, right? And for those of you who don't know Bill Harris, like he's toured the world with all kinds of great bands and a very talented guy, a super nice fellow. And I ran into him at a gig. He was doing the one Billy and the Showman gig. And your old band, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I knew that you played with them so much.
I played
but-
with them for years.
Yeah. I did before my time with them. So, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't know. But so I ran into Bill Harris during a break after the first set. We're standing like 8 feet apart talking. And I said, we're outdoors in Haverstraw, New York on the Hudson River. It was pretty and everything. And how you doing? He said, same thing. Like, I'm not working and I don't know, it feels weird and everything. And then he said, I don't even know how to play the horn anymore. He said something like, they said, take a solo. And he went, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm like, Bill Harris can't play a solo on a saxophone.
Well, you know, when you're not doing it that much, it's, I mean, who practices that kind of stuff at home? You know, I mean,
Right.
when you're out playing, it's second nature. But when you haven't done it for a while, it's really this and your fingers and your eyes and your
And
heart.
this, and your
The-
lip.
and
your
the
palate,
lip.
Your lip.
They all have to reconnect, and it's very strange. It's very strange.
That's what he was saying. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Like, and he's like, no, like they said solo. And I went, don't give me any solos tonight. I'll just get through the show, you know? And then, who was there? John Serio was there. You know John Serio, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a great sax player as well. And he was there. And I'm like, wait a minute. I walked up to the stage and I'm like, that's not John Serio. And I look over, there's John Serio hanging out at the soundboard. I go, why are you not playing? He goes, I forgot my saxophone. He just wasn't in the frame of mind to do a gig. He said, I've never done that in my life. But for some reason, I forgot to put the horn in the car. And I drove it all this way to get here. I'm like, what the hell?
Holy
So
crap.
somebody knew a local guy, and they called him, and they went, hey, what are you doing? You got a gig? And he goes, what? And they put him on, and he played the chart, you know?
That's hysterical.
It's pretty funny.
Holy
You know?
crap.
So, anyway, well, good to see you, Joe Mayo.
Good to be seen. Did you
See
want
you,
me to,
Joe.
did you want me to do one more?
You want to?
I could do a short one.
Yeah, no,
Hey.
definitely.
Lauren Zevon.
Oh, yeah. Then do two.
Okay, let's see if I can remember it.
Ready?
Hold on just a second.
So did you like what I just did? You didn't see it, but watch this. So I can move people around now. See, like I just found out you could do this, and so yeah, exactly. Kind of fun, you know.
I'm gonna barf.
Exactly. Why? Now I'm over there. Now I'm Paul Lynn in the tennis court.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Sunday best. Excitable boy, they all said. And he rubbed a pot roast all over his chest. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy. Well, he in the Graham show with the Clark. Excitable boy, they all said. And he bit the usherette's leg in the dark. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy. Now there's a saxophone solo here. Obviously, I'm not going to play it. Well, he took little Susie to the junior prom. Excitable boy, they all said. Then he raped her and killed her, then he took her home. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy. After 10 young years, they let him out of the home. Excitable boy, they all said. And he dug up her bones and built a cage. He dug up her grave and built a cage with her bones. Excitable boy, they all said. Well, he's just an excitable boy. Oh, I should never do that song again. That's so politically incorrect.
It's not. It's a great song, and you sound like Zevon.
I try to.
That's great. I fucking love that song.
Yeah, me too. But I could just picture, some mother of one of my students maybe watching this and go, "We're never taking another lesson from that guy."
Going to that guy again.
That's where you pull the "Hey, lady, I didn't write it. I'm sorry."
Yeah. Right.
Hey, do one more, Joe. Do another one.
You probably got some Zappa tunes that would shock them too. So
yeah. Okay. You want one more, Zevon?
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do my standard. Let's see if I can remember it. Well, I went home with the waitress, the way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? Well, I'm gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Dad, get me out of this one. Hey! I am the innocent bystander. Somehow I got stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now I'm down on my luck. Yes, I'm down on my luck. Yeah, I'm down on my luck. And I'm hiding in Honduras. I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. The shit has hit the fan. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money. Send lawyers, guns, and money.
Yeah.
Great song.
Oh, great.
Phenomenal. Love it. Joe Mayo, nice
I
job.
don't sing very
That's
much
great.
these days. You can hear my voice is totally out of shape.
Yeah,
But,
man, it was great. I wish I could sing it that well.
well, thanks. I appreciate it very much. It's one of my favorites. I was a major Warren fan, and boy, when he died, it just tore my heart out.
It was, yeah, it was somebody. Maybe it was you who mentioned it on here that you go and see all of his appearances on Letterman. Letterman loved him. He was on Letterman all the time.
Oh yeah.
That last appearance of him on Letterman, like, have a tissue box handy because it's touching.
Yeah. And when Letterman says, "Is there anything that you know that we should know now that you're in this position?" You know, basically meaning now that you're going to die and you know. And he goes, "Well, I don't think that I know anything other than how important it is to enjoy every sandwich." You know, and I mean that just that totally
that's
sums
bullshit.
it all up.
I don't know if it was part of the show. I had heard that I think backstage he gave Letterman his guitar and said, "Take care of this."
It was
Oh, I
not
didn't know
part of
that.
the show.
I
But
didn't know
yes,
that.
he gave it to Letterman. Letterman said, what am I going to do with this? And he said, "I want you to have it because you've been the best friend my music has had ever." You know, I mean, Letterman really, they really bonded after that first appearance, and he had him back so many times.
Yes.
And that really gave a boost to Warren's career, and thank God, and he was able to write some more songs and keep us all laughing and crying and
Yeah. Well, they're both kind of misfits in a way. They're both kind of prickly guys, So it's interesting that they bonded. Oh, that way.
Good point.
It's true. Yeah, Warren Zevon. The first time I ever saw him, or I'm not sure I was aware of him in high school. But when I got to college, I was a freshman, and I was living in a dorm right across from the Fisk Planetarium in Boulder, Colorado, and he played there at the planetarium, which was like a serious planetarium, but he played there, and they did something like laser show on the ceiling. It was like crazy, and I was like, it was like 20 yards from my room, so I was like, I'll go over and see this guy for $5 or whatever it costs, and like concerts were like $5, $8 to get in, and then I remember they had a concert in Boulder. This is like my father going, I remember when an ice cream was a nickel. And so I remember they did a concert, and it was John Cougar opening for Jethro Tull opening for The Who.
Oh man!
What a show! Jesus Christ!
And it was $17.
Jesus.
Right? And
How
we
long was
boycotted it. We
Can't even
were
get
like
popcorn for-
$17. Who's got $17? What do you think we're like Rockefellers? And we didn't go. We watched it from the roof of the physics building down that overlooked into the stadium.
What year was that, Ed?
That was 1983, maybe 82 or 83.
Oh, man.
They taught them a lesson.
Wow.
Because I'm just trying to remember now. My first when I was a freshman at Cornell, I entered and my birthday was coming up. It was 2 days before my birthday, and Elton John came to play, and it was his first stop on his first American tour in years. He had been in France recording all those albums, and the concert went on forever. And to me, it was the best concert I'd ever seen.
What year was that? Was that 74?
72.
72.
It was $5.
It was probably about $5.
Yeah, university shows. I didn't go to University of Bridgeport, but I saw Billy Joel at University of Bridgeport, and my claim to fame story is I let Billy Joel into his own concert. I went out to take a pee, and someone's banging on the door at the end of the hall, and I'm like, I don't care. Let somebody in. I don't give a fuck. What does it matter to me? And I open it up, and he's there with his dry cleaning over his shoulder. He's like, how the fuck you get in here? I don't know, Billy. Where do I go? So I helped him find the place. Of course, I go back to my seats with my buddies. I'm like, guess what? And, of course, their reaction was, oh, yeah, Randy, of course. We'd have no show if you didn't go take a piss. And so I'm like, come with me. And we went out into the hall. And the university or schools have those windows in the doors that are very narrow. And I could and he saw me, and he came out and hung with us for about 20 minutes. And he couldn't have been a nicer guy. It's my famous story.
That's great.
Can I tell a similar story about Michael Brecker, and then I'm off the
Wow.
I went to see Michael Brecker. This is long before he was ill. You all know who Michael Brecker was.
Michael
He was
Brecker, one of the
phenomenal
great sax players that
Greatest
played
sax
on
player.
every song you love. Okay.
composer, you name it. And he was playing with Ileana Elias, but I didn't know that he was. I went to see Ileana Elias, who's a Brazilian pianist and singer. And it turned out that the band was the Pat Metheny band without Pat and Mike Brecker. But I didn't know this until I went into the men's room at Sweet Basil. And I'm standing there at the urinal holding my junk, and I'm hearing this soprano saxophone in the stall behind me going, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? So I half turned around, and Michael walks out with a soprano sax in one hand, a sheaf of music in the other hand, and I almost cacked. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I said, Mr. Brecker, what are you doing? He said, it's Michael, real. I said, well, what are you doing? He says, I'm playing Ileana's music, and I really didn't have enough time, and it's very complicated stuff. This one particular part of it always nails me, and I really just got to try. So after I zipped myself up and picked myself off the floor, I mentioned, well, by the way, I play saxophone too. We got into this great discussion about music and playing sax, and he was the nicest person on earth.
Yeah.
So I go back to my seat, and I tell all the people at my table that this has happened, and they're going, bullshit.
Yeah, right.
So Mike gets up on the stage, and he's no more than 12 feet away from me. And they're playing, and it's wonderful. And then they get to this song, and he picks up his soprano. They start playing this song, and he happens to glance in my direction. He smiles at me and winks, and then blows the doors off that passage that he was practicing. Absolutely frigging nailed it.
That's a great
And it was
story.
one of my favorite moments.
Wow.
Cool guy.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Michael
Wait,
Brecker.
just 10 seconds, Ed. That's how I met Bruce Springsteen. I took a piss next to him at New Haven Coliseum at Bob Dylan's Rolling Thunder review. So the genius conversationalist.
Oh no, he
You
froze
never
in the
know
middle
who
of
I
his
am.
story.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Say that again.
So I say, Bruce, what are you doing here? And what's the man going to say? He's like, I'm taking a piss and I'm checking out the show. I'm like, oh, okay. You're going to play? He's like, no, man. I came to see the show. But again, what are you doing here? I'm fucking pissing. What do you want?
What do you think I'm
You're
doing?
so funny, Randy. You're like, give me. I just need 10 seconds to say. What do you think we're doing here? We're like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
telling stupid
You know,
stories.
I'm also a big mouth, so you got to give me the,
He's a street poet, Springsteen. He came up with.
Yeah, but in a bathroom, that guy is amazing.
Yeah, really. Yeah, he can write lyrics
I
about
saw
bathrooms off the top of his head.
Bruce. I saw little Bruce. Telling you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He gets that really nice bathroom reverb sound.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. I was like, I have no bathroom story, and I have a bathroom Bruce Springsteen story. All right. True story. So I was in Boulder, Colorado, and I played in a band that was doing really well in Colorado, and we gigged all the time. We played this little dive in Nederland, which is like this hippie and cowboy town. And if you think what's happening in politics in America is bad now, back then, so it was the real cowboys who were a bunch of tough guy, right-winger, gun-carrying, right-wingers. And then you've got the hippies from Boulder. They're like, dude, how you doing? Like, they're all up in the mountains growing pot, right? And so in Nederland, the Pioneer Inn, you can Google it, like there were shootings, like the cowboys came in and got in a gunfight with the hippies, you know what I mean? And then the hippies came back with guns, it was like crazy. But anyway, so at the Pioneer Inn, the layout was the big room, not that big, but a big room, and in the stage was in the end of the room, and behind the stage was the men's room and the ladies' room doors. And there was no other way to get there except to walk through the stage. So all night long, people are like, excuse me, like walking behind the drum set, right? It was like the works. It was a small-ish kind of place. and we had a big crowd in there, and we're doing really, really well. But our shtick was that we would do Bruce Springsteen tour. We'd do Pink Cadillac, right? And the drummer sang the song. Billy Brennan sang the song, and so he's sitting at the drum set with his mic, singing the song, and we would go in the bathroom and play from the bathroom. So I'd take my guitar and go in the bathroom, and then so we'd be in there, and people would be peeing, and we'd be playing. So he was on stage alone. The backup singers are in the ladies' room, the female vocalists in the ladies' room. We're not even in the same bathroom. Like,
Oh,
we're all in
Jesus.
different bathrooms.
It's kind of like
Player
quarantine.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Without
he
the
was sitting on
without
the
the
stage
hygiene.
playing, and nobody else is on the stage. He did Pink Cat. That's my only Bruce Springsteen.
Very hygienic. Yes.
That's a great story. All right, I must unfortunately take my leave. All you wonderful people, Ed, thanks for letting me
Fantastic.
on.
See you, Joe.
See you, Joe.
Everybody
Joe.
stay safe, please. And we'll come
to
through
see you,
all
Joe.
this together. Good to see you. Rory, we got to talk. We have
I'll
much
give you
to
a call.
talk
I'll
about.
give you a call.
Okay.
I will, promise.
Sounds
Good to see you, Joe. Look who I got. Joey Lane.
Hey,
Joey.
Joey.
You're muted.
Oh, and I got Mike
Muted.
Boutwell. We're just doing this.
Hey,
Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
Super.
I just wanted to say real quick that Jethro Tull was my first concert ever back in 1980.
Jethro
When you tell
Tull.
The Jethro's Tull concert, yeah.
Wow.
So I just remember when I saw those guys, they played for about a half an hour, and I just remembered how amazing they were. They were more like a jazz fusion band. Then they
Right.
went into all their pop stuff, but I remember being really blown away. But that was my first concert ever, so that brought
It's a
back some
good
good
first
memories.
one. Yeah.
You brought that up.
God, like it's just over. There are no concerts anymore. I guess there's
Yeah.
YouTube, but I'm watching a lot of stuff on YouTube. But
Yeah, it's too bad. They'll be back, hopefully. Vaccine's coming next year. Bring on
Yes, we all come
2021,
back.
right? 2020's been horrible.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
absolutely. So let's see. What are we doing here? Are we sort of switching the show into collaborative video mode here?
Sure,
Looks
and
that
why
way.
I think that's what we're doing. So the problem is that I wanted to play the video that that Dennis sent me, and I was like, all right, and now I'll introduce the video. And I was all second. I look over in the bin. There's like this area, like a card over here, where you like press the button. I'm like, oh, I forgot to put it in. So it's it's loading in now. It's like the spinning wheel of death. Like someday you'll be able to play your
Someday.
video. So
Hoping for the bandwidth, right?
Hey,
Kryptonite.
I have an update on the cricket that was in my basement.
Oh,
oh my
yeah.
God. So first tell the story about the cricket, and then for those who missed it on Facebook, and
It was the squeaky drum pedal,
I
right?
hope you didn't kill the cricket. What happened?
So I'm trying to make doing collaboration video. I set up my recording. I'm all ready to go, and then all of a sudden I start hearing this like cricket, this noise, and it just won't stop, and it completely ruins my recording because like I have this sound like going, and so
It's out of time.
I like stop the recording, and I'm trying to find it. I'm like trying to echolocate it, like, because I'm listening to the sound, following it, and the minute like I come anywhere near it, it just stops.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
then when I walk away from it, it starts going again. Like these crickets are like super smart. I don't know what they've been eating or anything, but like they're like alien crickets from like another planet or something. So I basically had to just like let it die. I don't know what happened to it. It just, eventually, after like 4 days, it stopped cricketing, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed at this point.
So
I can,
he's
see, I can see you after
Yeah,
like 4 days turn around to the cricket like on the one. Come on.
On the one. Come
I
on.
hope it makes it. It sounds like a good cricket.
So now, was that one of our videos that there was? It just reminded me with crickets. I got a track from somebody that I was mixing, and I can't remember. Oh, I know what it was. I was doing. I do collaborative videos for a church in Darien, the Talmadge Hill Church, and their choir wants to do it. So we got like 23 choir members, and we do these big collaborative videos with the choir. Right? Somebody sent me a track, and I kept hearing crickets. Right? I was like, "What is that track?" And then I found the person who had the crickets going. They were like outside with crickets.
You know,
And
Mikey,
I
could
had
probably-
to use Gates and EQ to get the cricket out.
You could probably work that into one of your videos, right? You stop
Yeah.
playing, and then there's crickets. It's like the oldest joke in the book, right?
Story of my life. Yeah.
I was gonna say that happens all the time.
That's never happened to me.
It's like, where's all the people? Oh, that's right. They're online.
The crickets. My God. Like I heard the crickets. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh man.
You know, the things that are in recordings. I was in television once, and we were shooting a very expensive infomercial, and there were 100 people on payroll that day, and we get into the editing room, the next day to edit this thing together, and there was a fly in the studio, and half the time he's flying in front of the camera, right? So it's like, right? And half the time he's up around the microphone. You heard?
Oh no!
Nobody picked up on it during the production, and the client was like, "Well, we're not paying you the friggin' $150,000 or whatever the hell it was. We're not giving you the money until you edit out the fly." And we were like, "Edit out." This was in like 1988. And it wasn't like you could do more on your iPhone than you could, in a big $10 million studio in those days. And we had to go in, and we had a little blurred out things following the fly. We innovated special effects to get this fly out of them. It took us a lot of work.
If you go listen to any of the old recordings and stuff with a good set of headphones, listen to the background. Sometimes you'll hear people talking.
Yes.
Say, "Oh, that was really good," and stuff like that while they're playing.
It's really funny. Even on this show, you'll hear crazy things in the background. Even
Birds
on
and
this
crickets.
show. So, all right, I got your video loaded. So, Dennis, tell me a little bit about what you sent me.
Which one is this? Kryptonite?
It says, no, I think I have Kryptonite.
Yeah.
Did I?
Love to change the
I'm going to
world.
go make sure I've got Kryptonite here. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go look for that. You sent me that, right?
Yeah.
No, this is the one where you're all sitting in the driveway.
Okay. This
I
is
could talk a
an
little bit about
undisclosed location.
Oh,
Joey
is that
invited
Joey?
us all over.
Is that your place, Joey?
Yeah, no, I could talk. Yeah, I was at my place, and it was really when the pandemic was kind of just seeming to lighten up a little bit, and there was a little light at the end of the tunnel. And then I was talking with Frank a little bit, and he says, "Okay, we'll get Dave to play." And then I called Todd up. Todd was going to drop something off at my place, so he came over. Dennis came over, and it just kind of happened so easily. I mean, we played that song, I think 6 times, but I think all 6 times really were just so easy, and they sounded so good. And we had a
We
great
just
time
jammed through a
doing
bunch of tunes that day. Probably 5 or 6 different songs. This
Well, that
was
was
one of
out-
the better ones. So,
And who all was on the video? Tell me who's going to be on this video.
Joey, Frank was the singer on it. Me on bass, Dave Lindsay on drums, and Todd Joyner was on bongos.
Great.
And Ted Green.
That sounds great. So I'm going to play it for you right now. Here we go.
Everywhere the freaks and lyrics, that's and lyrics. Tell me where the sanity. Tax the rich, feed the poor, till they're in the rich no more. I'd like to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. Population keeps on breathing, nations breathing, feel my fear. Life is funny, skies are sunny, please make money, who needs more monopoly? I'd like to change the world, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Wow,
Great
That was
song.
fucking
that
nice.
was awesome, man.
that
The
was
guitar
awesome.
work
So how
was
did you
nice.
guys record
Really
that?
great.
That sounds like a real, like a production. What's going on?
Whose phone was
That
that?
was
It
really
was
nice.
Dave's phone.
It was Dave's phone. Even that Zoom at the beginning was Dave's
Wow.
phone. He did that all in his,
Wow.
most of it in
Wait
his
a minute.
phone.
So that was just a
Amazing.
live recording in the driveway?
Yeah.
I heard like a cowbell or something. What was that?
That
Okay.
was ground level. cowbell.
That was a
Our
cowbell.
nickname was Ground Level Cowbell. Dave was
I nicked
playing
the
a
band ground
cowbell
level
with a
cowbell
kick,
the next day.
like a drum pedal.
Ah, okay, because I'm looking for the cowbell. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's doing
where
it
is
with a
it? I
drum
can't
pedal.
see it.
The balance. I can't believe the balance. I just had a rehearsal on Sunday in my lawn, and I recorded the whole thing on my iPhone. It's for shit. The balance is so horrid. So
Okay,
that
I
sounded
think
great.
he had a.
Andy, there was some magic to that night. It was just a great time, and the
Yeah.
music was good, and we had a great
Oh,
time
you
together.
played the
And
hell out of
it
it. Yeah.
just came out in the recording, I guess.
That
Yeah.
That's really fun. Did you shoot any other songs? Did you shoot any others?
Oh yeah, it's recorded, but it's probably not worth listening to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get with Dave and see what else
Dave
he
has
has
them on
on
his
there.
phone.
that
Yeah,
was a great sounding guitar there, Joey.
yeah,
thank you.
awesome.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was
So it
great.
sounded great.
Yeah,
Nice,
well,
nice.
obviously, I pride myself on that kind of stuff. So
So do you have any neighbors that are like, what's going on over there? Like, wow, live music. What's it like? How is that now? You know?
it
Lives
was.
at the
They
edge of
didn't
a
know where to
forest.
find us, basically.
I had
'Cause
neighbors who came
it used to be if you play live music in your yard, you're going to be like, even in your neighborhood, Randy, like the Weston police are going to show up and be like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a noise over this town. Now people are like, please play.
I had neighbors that came over.
We're on 9 acres here, so we'd have to turn it up really loud.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, so you don't have I used to have a neighbor, Betsy Newberg. Do you know? You live in Weston, right, Randy?
Easton.
Oh, Easton. You're in Easton. Okay, I thought you were in Weston. So I was in Weston, and I had this next door neighbor who lived maybe 100 yards away. And I would say I better invite her to my parties because I know, like, I was playing in a band with Fred Clark in those days, and we were loud, right? So I had all the windows, the sliding glass doors open, and we were blasting music up and down the Saugatuck River in Weston, right? And Betsy, I would invite her to the party. And she was kind of this like little old lady with her little dachshund and whatever, and then she'd be like, "I need to go," so she'd eat all my food and whatever. She'd leave, go home, and call the cops.
No, she did.
Oh,
And the police would show up, and I would say, "All my neighbors are here at the party. You're telling me my neighbors are complaining? Who's complaining?" And they go, "Don't turn your head. She's standing on her porch."
Oh.
And there she is on the porch going like this, like trying to listen, you know. And I'm like, oh God, right? So that was Betsy. But now we don't have that anymore. No more noise complaints
Yeah.
at all. Amazing. So what's this kryptonite video that I scrambled my butt off to get loaded up?
Yeah.
Dennis is like, as soon as I played the other song, Dennis is like, here's the video. And I'm like, send me the video. You know, we like tried to get it done. So tell me
So
about that.
this is one I used to play back in Utah with a couple different bands, and it always went over well. So I thought, hey, we should do this one with alternate universal ID, alternate universe ID. Sorry, we keep changing the name.
That's
So
about the
it's-
best thing you can do. Just, we have a new brand. We have a new country.
We have a new
today.
brand this time.
Amazing.
But, by Three Doors Down.
I saw this the other day on Frank Tosto's show. So
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where did I see it on Facebook? Where did I see this?
Probably on Facebook. It was Tommy singing, Joey Lane, Dennis Allred, and Hanker Dude.
Yanker Dude. Where's Hanker Dude? Hank, we need you. Come sign
he's
on.
MIA.
All right. Here we go.
He's
Kryptonite.
MIA.
Here we go. Oh, it's Heidi just got here. There's Heidi. How you doing, Heidi?
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
All right, check these guys out. This is our competition. We all have these like little production companies, you know, and we're like once in a while, like, oh, I'll do one for you, and you do one for me, and whatever. Like we're cross pollinating, like we're record companies. Like,
So you
today,
guys are being all precise, and I'm the hit and run people. The
but I talked
1, 2, 3 blaze.
I talked to Mike about this the other day. I said, I said, I kind of wish that we could just like bam, 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 like get them done, like produce. You guys are producing it, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do a song, and it's gonna take us 2 weeks of pulling our hair out to get it, to be good. But the alternative is just do it like a jam, like make it happen. We all know these songs,
right?
So I don't know. We're working on an idea that might make it kind of cool, more like a jam. We're trying to
and we're working on production side. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, we want to be more like you, and you want to be more like us.
Exactly.
Most ways.
There you go. Kryptonite.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
Side of the moon. After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you. I really don't mind what happens now and then, as long as you be my friend at the end. If I go crazy now, well, you can call me Superman. If I'm alive and well, well, you be there holding my hand. I'll keep you by myself with my superhuman might, kryptonite. Yeah! Call me strong and call me weak, but still your secrets I will keep. All the times I never let you down, you stumbled in it, bumped your head, if not for me, make you dead. Put you up and put you back on solid ground again. If I go crazy now, will you two call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman, my kryptonite.
Whoa.
All right.
That was fun. All right, hey Carl, how you doing, man?
Good, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, Carl.
Everybody. Hey, Carl.
Yeah. How you doing?
Doing okay.
Yeah, that was great. That was a fun video. It's a great tune.
Yeah,
you know, you're definitely up on your editing game. You got titles and Superman things and what are you, Mike Dunwall?
I know, right?
Up in his game.
That was
Taking
pretty
lessons
sweet.
from Mike on the side.
Yeah, right, exactly. So yeah, we were working on a video as well. There, I'll get the Jam TV logo out in front of Tommy's head.
That's all right. Put it over. It's,
Oh,
it's
he's
better
doing
that
Mike
way.
Wadowski.
Yeah, Tommy. No. So
That's good. Try to hide behind it.
it really is. There's something. It's incredibly frustrating to make these videos sometimes, right? You got to get everybody
Yeah.
to do what you say. You got to get it technically right. You got to get it to look right. You've got to get it to sound right. Then you got to put it together. And Michael and I were like struggling. This video that we're going to show now is like we've been working on it for several weeks, and we are very proud of how it came out. But it was like kicking us in the shins all day trying to get it to work technically, it to sound right. It was like, and you know, it's not, and you know this, Dennis, right? It's not like, oh, could you just fix this little thing? It's like there's so much involved in fixing one little thing. You're moving giant files through the air, and you know.
And I want to redo my track.
Oh my God! And, right, and it's just so. It's very interesting that you know, I even during the show we were like re-compressing and retrying because you want it. You put your heart and soul into making it happen, and you want it to like be. It's your baby, you know. And you want it to sound good.
Weeks and weeks of work and blood, sweat, and tears for 5 minutes, and then it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy,
And
right?
4 minutes and 58 seconds.
And then your
Yeah.
friends on Facebook are like, "Oh, that was good," you know, like they're like,
Yeah.
"That's awesome, yeah, you know," and you're like,
And then you keep
don't
doing your part
understand.
over and over and over again, and you get tired of doing it. It's like I've done it 20 times. I think I'm done. You know, it's
And you're like,
you just
but did you
walk away
catch this
from
little
that
thing we did?
The bar has been set so low during COVID that it's like, please, God, just don't let me suck. Okay.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Tommy, when you start to feel like that, that means it's time to start playing some Leonard Skinner.
Yes.
Yeah. Where's my camera? Yeah, rock and roll.
It's really true. Nick, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, late to the project as always.
No, that's good. So for those of you who don't know in the audience, the T in after Nick and the T after Carl is the same T.
Mm-hmm.
So they're related.
Both the same Troutmans over here.
Mr.
Hey,
T.
this guy.
The Troutman clan. How are the other Troutmans doing?
One's talented.
Just a little.
Good.
I'm
Good.
starting to look like my dad a little bit.
Like the Stones.
Yeah, tell Andrew I want to get him on the show. And
I will.
good-
I'll yell upstairs.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Andrew, I want you on the show.
Yeah. It's a fair.
It was great when you had like reverb effects on your voice, you know. But and how you doing, Heidi?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
She's silent after all that. You're silent. I can't
Can't
hear
hear
you.
Can't hear you.
Oh no!
I can't hear you.
See if she can fool around with that. So, Michael, you want to talk a little bit about this video?
Okay. So Sharon Jones is the performer. Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings.
Oh God.
And
Wow, what a name.
They're a machine.
They're amazing. Carl brought this song to us, and it's such a great song, Carl. I'm so glad you mentioned it. And
one of my faves.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we pulled out all the stops for this one because we got Heidi and Holly are both singing on this track, and then we've got the Carl and Nick,
right?
And we've got a whole horn section, and it's just and we've got Ed, and we've got it's just it was a major undertaking, and it was a lot of fun in the process, and a lot of sweating, and but I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
That sounds sick. Man. Can't wait to hear it.
Absolutely, yeah. So, with no further ado, I will play this song, and I hope that you all like it. Here it goes.
You see, you've been getting on so good, so proper for so long. No, you never hurt me. No, you never gone and done me wrong. I know that something ain't just no good, but you always do exactly what you should. So tell me, how do I let a good man down? How do I let a good man down? You gotta believe me, I didn't mean to find nobody else. I don't wanna hurt you, but I got to do right by myself. You make me happy, but you give me thrills. You give me comfort, but you give me chills. So tell me, how do I let a good man down? How do I let a good man I know that it's crazy to walk away from such a good thing, but I'm gonna gamble, and I bet that this ain't just no thing. I can't have my cake and eat it too, so I gotta get up and walk out on you. Oh, tell me, how do I let a good man down? How do I let a good man down? Oh, how do I let him down? Tell me how. Tell me how. How do I let him down? Oh, how do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Oh, how do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me how. How do I let him down? Tell me
Wow. There it is.
Yeah.
That band is somebody
Get it.
crackling funny.
I like what was going on behind you. That insanity, that whole.
I was just saying,
Yeah,
Ed, where do
I
you get these
choreographed
insane
that
backgrounds?
personally. That's me and my cats.
It's on
And,
shirts, though. It's crazy.
no, that is Bob Fosse. That if you've never seen that dance routine, I'm going to post that clip on
That was nuts.
YouTube.
That was nuts. I loved it.
That was in-
Yeah, it's an amazing
Ridiculous.
thing. If you've never seen it, Bob Fosse did this dance in a Shirley MacLaine movie. It's phenomenal. I decided to throw that in the background there. But this song,
Sweet Charity.
is that the movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is that. Well, you're right. So I found it and I was like, I typed in beatnik dancing because I thought that would be kind of a cool thing, and I found some like actual beatnik dancing, but it wasn't long enough. And then I found this Bob Fosse thing, and I'm like, that's it. And I wanted to fit the thing. But the song itself,
I took it after I saw it in your little part of your video. I took it and I said, I'm going to use that in the background of the whole video itself.
Yeah.
that's very cool.
But you guys locked that in tight on the beat. That was really well done. That just was so tight, which I know is harder to do than most people understand.
It's a weird beat. So for you watching, you've got, the song sounds like it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. And what it's doing is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
So it's like a fast 6/8 that sounds so laid back, and it's not even swinging. It's like it's perfect triplets.
It's marching.
Anyway, do you guys know?
Yeah. You want to throw up when you're done. You're playing so accurately for the whole song that you're like, oh God, I can't believe I made it through that. You know?
Well, you locked it in. That's great.
Yeah, Nick,
Yeah.
Nick, man, you really like nailed that bass line, man.
Well
Total.
done, Mike.
That was impressive.
It was good. Heidi, are you with us? No, I can't hear you. Oh no, I can't believe it.
We're now going to talk about you all night. You can't respond.
You're looking
That was
good.
really good. But Heidi, that was really good.
And
Just have to be more animated.
Why do you get one of us?
Let's talk about Heidi.
Let's talk about Heidi. What can we say that you
Let's
can't
say, what salacious rumors can we spew? And she can't defend herself. It's great.
It's really cool. The vocal work, working with Holly and Heidi, is terrific.
Yeah.
The vocal work is fantastic. And you know, I said this in the very beginning of GMTV. I said this to Bill Nolan. I said by the time we get 6 months into this, which is kind of right now, we're all going to be way better at this. In the beginning, it was like you couldn't even keep it. You didn't even work. You know, it didn't even. You couldn't even do a recording. You didn't know how to. You know, like you start the recording and people would be like, what am I on the camera? Now everybody's like, I've done 20 of these, you know. And just
So I
doing
always said we moved from MTV 1981 to MTV 1986 now.
exactly.
I really liked Carl, your like those two guitar like parts that you put together for the song. That was awesome.
Well, that's right off the record, you know, pretty much. And what's cool is how it syncs together. You know, it catches the beat, and it's a real. It's more like Afro beat is the whole approach, you know. And they've got that the
like
horn
a
part
Fela.
of that Fela Kuti kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. So it's a cool rhythm that all works within each other, and when it's locked tight, it really hums. It's great. And you just play the same thing for the whole song, you know.
It's funny you say that. When I was listening to it, like it reminds me of Fela's song "Zombie." There was like something about that beat that was right there. It was great.
I still got it going in my head.
The drum track in one take, right? How many takes did you do on this one?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I did one take.
One take. Like Mike is a machine. He like listens to the song, he gets it down, he's like, here we go, you know.
Well, it's like, you know, that beat, it's not super complicated because it's just for me it's a 6/8 groove, but I'm playing like a shuffle over it. I'm just playing, you know, and then it's just a matter of stopping when I'm supposed to stop, like in the song. So it wasn't super complicated.
Yeah, but to do that in one take, I need 2 takes to take a piss. So you know.
So Carl, let me ask you a question. So I obviously know Carl Troutman from reggae music, right? I know you from the Jam, but I also know you as a reggae player. But are you a jazz player first? Like where do you get off knowing how to do this stuff, you know?
I don't know. We played it early on. Mike and I were sort of a couple. I'm not going to call them jazz bands. We wanted to be, you know, and love the music. I always like that kind of tastier style where it's almost a Grant Green kind of approach to music, and I just always love that kind of style. And then the 6/8. That reminds me of Senor Blues a little bit, you know, that kind of 6/8 kind of time. So, I just played. I've been playing like jazzy stuff for a while.
Yeah, I know. It's
before the
very
reggae. No, it was before the reggae thing we were doing that. The reggae thing we kind of stumbled into because we knew Derek and Mike pulled it together, and Dave, the bass player, was like, I want to learn how to play bass and I want to learn how to play reggae bass. And so we built a band around that. And it's so much fun getting back into this kind of music, you know, a little off the beaten path, like Sharon Jones, the brand new heavies like we did before, and then the bamboos are all, you know, it's a little different. You don't hear it all the time, and they're great grooves too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, so, you know, Nick plays in a, like, super cool... Are you Brooklyn-based, your band?
Yeah, it's a very cool Brooklyn band.
Yeah, very cool. And Sharon Jones was a very cool Brooklyn band. Like, she was Brooklyn-based, too.
Yeah.
But, like, she was the first wave of funk soul in Brooklyn, and now there's, like, a whole other wave happening, right?
Right. Yeah. Charles Bradley too. That soul singer who recently passed. He's another
Right.
Brooklyn guy. But yeah, the scene was great there, and I was having a great time being a part of it. But obviously, right now it's
What happened? What happened?
It's shuttered.
Hey Nick, are you gonna like the Val? It's Valpala, right?
Valipala. Yep.
Valipala. Are you guys thinking about doing any kind of like video or something? You know, like
Yeah.
anything?
We've all been
Should.
doing our own sort of things over the quarantine. Some of the band went and stayed at a farm in New Jersey. Others have gone up to Albany to work their day jobs. But
Right.
we have some videos already in the can that we've been trying to release. But honestly, the quarantine threw us for such a loop. We were going to be touring. So
I know.
we've just
that
been on a little
video-
break, but developing our, honing our musical edge, hopefully, along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, you were on the break. You had your first show that you lost was a Brooklyn Bowl show, right?
Yeah, exactly. We were supposed to play Brooklyn Bowl. First it was in May, and then it was in June, and then it was, whenever. But we have that spot still on hold for when all this craziness ends.
That's great. The band is fantastic. I love the band. I love what you guys do. You're so at another freaking level, with what you do. And I hope you're able to keep it all together once we get, back out,
Well, this helps. I hope we're able to keep it all together because it's easy to lose it in the isolation.
Absolutely. And Heidi, so what are you doing musically? You had all kinds of stuff going on and you got disrupted too. But you can't say we don't have you, do we?
She's under non-disclosure. She can't say anything.
Playing with.
Heidi, look on the lower left of your screen for a mute button and see if the mute button is on.
No. There's something else going on. There's something weird going on.
Can you?
Yeah, you're just going to be the eye candy on the show today. Sorry.
That's right.
We'll connect and we'll troubleshoot all of this in the future. We'll get that working. So, all right, that was super fun. What am I going to play now?
Hey, Ed.
Yeah, what?
Can I do a shameless plug?
Yes, you can do a shameless plug. Really, you have something to plug? I'm jealous.
Yes. I actually have a gig. It might be one of my last gigs forever. I don't fucking know. Tomorrow night at Ripka's at Cat Pasture Beach, the B-side band will be playing. It's our last one. I got a private party and then a gig with my son Patrick, and that's all, folks. So 5:30 tomorrow, Cat Pasture Beach B-side. Thank you.
That's very cool. Very cool.
You even have a video of that Springsteen song you mentioned, Pink Cadillac, if you can find it.
I have it?
Yeah.
Is it? Did you do it with the girl?
It's in your archives. You played it once before.
Oh, I did. I'm going to go take a look at that. Right now, I'm going to play an Alt Universe ID classic. Here we go.
Well,
Make my connection, it's time. destination unknown. Double cross messenger, all alone. Can't get no connection, can't get through. Where are you? Well, the night weighs heavy on his guilty mind. This far from the borderline. When the hitman comes, he knows damn well he ain't been cheated. When I'm stepping into the twilight zone, places of that house feels like being close. My thinking been moved to the moon and star. Where am I to go now that I got you? Oh, when the boat hits the bone, soon you come to know. When the boat hits the bone, when the boat hits the bone. And I'm stepping into the twilight zone. Places in that house feels like it is close. But thinking they moved to the moon and star. Where am I to go now that I got you? Well, and I'm stepping into the twilight zone. Places in that house feels like being close. Thinking they moved to the moon and star. Where I go now that I found you close, you got to know. When the boat hits the bone, you got to know. When the boat hits the bone, the boat hits the bone. Whoa, the boat hits the bone. When the boat hits the bone.
Kicking ass.
Oh man, I'm
Yeah,
so
rock and roll.
Kicking ass.
That was awesome.
I saw these guys gotta be
That was
just
cool.
to watch, right? So at least on the point, I guess. You know.
That was
Oh my
definitely a
God.
good one. Definitely.
That was
Thank
great.
you. That was fun. Thank you.
Good job,
And
man.
nobody
Yeah.
did that song. That's cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch you guys doing that because it feels like a live band. You somehow are able to capture, like what Mike and I do. We feel like we're like recording studio television musicians, but you guys retain that like here we are on a stage feeling in your videos. I love that.
It's so weird because you're in your bedroom and there's
Yeah.
nothing coming back,
Right.
and you got to pretend like there's people in front of you. It's like, how do I get the energy? I
Yeah.
have to like pretend like there's something there when there's.
I gotta get my other
Yeah.
laptop.
Yes, is yet to come.
I'm gonna take my other laptop and put it on a big screen with a crowd cheering.
Yeah,
With a
just like
crowd
watching the
cheering.
Mets, the fake audience, you know. Ah.
It's like,
Can you
like
hear
1, 2,
me,
3,
Mike?
4, blaze.
Yeah,
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yeah,
I can hear
You hear me now?
yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. It was in the settings of the show itself.
Wow,
There's like 5 choices, and it was on the wrong choice.
it's a
Ah,
miracle it works at all. It's
Welcome to
nice
the
to see
party.
you, Heidi.
Hi, good to see you too.
So wait, so tell these guys a little bit about your musical background and how you ended up, you know, you obviously we
I do
all
look
have a
here.
past that brings us onto this screen today, and you know,
Yeah.
you have a whole bunch of stuff going on. You're in Texas. Tell us a little bit about your musical background and how you ended up, you know, doing these collabs with us.
Wow. I don't hear myself. How weird. Something's wrong here. Anyway.
We hear you. We hear you.
Right here.
I always have issues here. I don't know where to begin, except for the fact that both of my parents were musicians. So that was the curse to begin with, because once you're born into that environment, you're just thrown into it, whether you like it or not. And so I started doing a lot of harmonizing with my father. My father was a guitarist. My mother was an incredible pianist. And the two of them, I mean, they were just crazy musicians, very virtuoso. And through the years, my father put me in my first band when I was a teenager. I was in a salsa band, and with a bunch of guys, brothers. And through the years, I ended up joining other bands and getting more involved in singing. But I really started out as a piano player. And then I used to do singing with my father. My sisters all sing, so we would all harmonize. But I really ended up as a singer in a few bands, and I sang lead in bands in New York. I'm from New York. And then I ended up in the 80s getting kind of like a musical break with a group that I ended up joining. Mike knows all that. I ended up joining and touring with and recording with Men Without Hats. And that was like kind of a jump. But then touring was kind of hard. And, you know, we were on a Polygram label. And in fact, actually just yesterday, because I'm still in touch with Ivan and his brother and all those guys, just yesterday, Safety Dance and Pop Goes the World just actually went into the Canadian Hall of Fame, Rock Hall of Fame.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, so I just saw that on Facebook yesterday. Ivan notified everybody. And
congratulations.
So that was a big thing. And so it's on my resume, but that was like the highlight.
Stop. What was that? That was
No horn tooting here. You asked me for background. I'm giving, and so that was the moving from that back to regular life was difficult. Working as a teacher again, going back to teaching, typing, word processing, and then doing side bands again in New York, and the same thing. It's always up and down, up and down. Yep. And then I ended up in a band with Mike. That was our big. That was our big.
We were called
union.
Mother Moses.
And to me, actually, it's those kinds of projects, like what I did with Mike and these guys. We were doing all original stuff, and that was where my heart really was, like, you know, very committed to that kind of project.
Hey, Heidi, maybe we can. I still have like the, you know, our demo tape, like, you know, with praying all.
I have that. Yeah.
Maybe I can create like a some kind of a video with the song, and we could play it. You know.
Yeah, sure. We could actually, yeah, because I still know those songs, and I could go along with those. And have you do something with them. But then and ever since then I've been in bands, and I keep doing the same thing, which is either singing or background singing, which I love to do, like what I just did with Holly. I was so happy to do that because that's, I don't know if it goes back to the early days. I love harmonizing to people. Right. And instead of being the lead person, or even sometimes I like doing my piano originals, but that's also not like background singing. Background singing is a real passion for me.
Your voice is exceptional.
Thank you. And I really do like to be in this band I'm in Texas. Well, now as of 2 weeks ago, I'm not now because I'm not going out because of COVID. They know it's like, put me in the back. I don't want to be in the front. I like to be in a big project, and I'll tell people, oh, I was in this great project, but I like to be kind of more in the background of whatever the music is, you know. So. But I do lead singing with you guys sometimes.
Yeah, we enjoy having you, and you
Thank
sound
you.
great. When I got your vocal tracks, and I listened to the backup vocal tracks, and I was like, ooh, this is nice. This is tasty stuff. It was great.
That was fun because Mike said, you better get creative because there's no background vocals on the Sharon Jones
You know, I was going to ask you that because
Yeah, no.
heard in the original track, I'm like, am I just that they mix that down really low, but it fit really nicely. It worked
Yeah, I just like that's what I really love to do is just to come up with some kind of vocal line that's going to blend in with the lead singer. That's probably my favorite thing.
The little Andrew sister thing there. You know?
Doing it, my two harmonies, yeah.
They worked that in was
Yeah.
kind of really very, very cool. I enjoyed
And
it.
she's a phenomenal singer. And I said to Mike, I want to sing with her. I really do. So we got this chance, which was fun.
We got another one coming up. You're going to sing lead vocals, and Holly's going to sing backup for you.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Love the one you're with.
Absolutely. That's in production.
As done by, I never heard that version by,
Done by
Diana Ross
like
and
the Supremes and the Four Tops.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, we're gonna nail that.
Yeah, really cool. So you say you don't like to be out front, but I'm going to play a video now with you out front. This is an oldie. This is probably from 2 weeks ago. And you're out front. Here you go.
Run.
Hey lady, got the love I need. Maybe more than enough. Oh darling, darling, walk a while with me. Oh, you got so much, so much, so much. Many times been bitten, many times I've gazed along the open road.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
That was another nice one. Really fun. Hey, Hector, how
Hi,
you doing?
how are you? Hi, Dennis. Randy, how you doing?
Hey.
Mike,
Hey, how
hey, Heidi, how are you? Carl and me.
Hi, good. How are you?
Great to see you all.
Yeah, really fun. I thought you did a great job on that. In your kitchen, recorded in the kitchen.
Sweet.
Pandemic Led Zeppelin.
That was awesome. Wow. I love the way you sang that, Heidi.
Thank you. I love the way you play.
Yeah, how many takes on that one for you, Mikey Beans?
One.
One take. One take wonder.
Wait, where's that horn now?
Who was doing the horn? Was that Dennis?
That wasn't me.
Whoever was in the top right, coming from over there.
Yeah, like the show is in
Wasn't you?
stereo,
That's
right?
where you're pointing there. That's it.
No, it was where Mike is now. It was over there.
Oh, I gotta look it up. We gotta do the horn.
Sounded like somebody's phone laying on their desk. Like,
Yeah. You put it too close to your computer sometimes it'll come across.
Right.
So what are you doing? A live song for us, Hector?
Yeah, I got something that I just learned a couple of weeks ago. I heard it for the very first time 2 weeks ago, and in a week I learned it. I said, I will learn you.
Fantastic.
It's a song by Rhett Miller. I don't know if you remember the old 97s. He was there.
Yeah.
He was there like songwriter, lead singer, main guy, and this is one of his solo songs called "Come Around."
All right, do it for us.
Would you like to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it goes like this.
Take it away.
And I'm remembering you and the dress you wore when you broke my heart. I'm depressed upstairs, and I'm remembering where and when and how and why you had to go so far. I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life. Am I gonna be lonely for the rest of my life? I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life, unless you come around. So come around. I'm all dressed in white, and I remember the night you came on to me and opened up my heart. I was hollow then, till you filled me in. Now I'm empty again. I should have never let it start. Am I gonna be lonely for the rest of my life? Am I gonna be lonely for the rest of my life? I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life, till you come around. So come around. No one else can fix me, although sometimes my heart tricks me into thinking someone else will do. But you're the only one. You are the only one. I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life. Am I gonna be lonely for the rest of my life? I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life, unless you come around. So come around. Yeah, come around. So come around. I'm all dressed in blue, and I'm remembering you and the dress you wore when you broke my heart.
Great.
It's a sweet love song.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I got. I've been practicing that once, so I just wanted to get it right.
You're an adventurous guy. You pick some really interesting tunes to play.
I just heard that song, like I said, for the first time, and I fell in love with it. I said, "That's it's a perfect song. It's got a great bridge. It's got a nice chorus. It's got great sentiment. It's a really cool song. I like this guy a lot." But Miller.
So speaking of cool songs,
Never heard it.
check this out.
Well, now you may think I'm foolish for the foolish things that
Nice solo, Carl.
Killing it, Randy.
That was fun.
Nice,
Yeah, if
Randy.
I give credit to my mates there. That's the inimitable Joe Sullivan on drums, Warren McGuire on guitar, Beth Ivanelli Mokaran singing lead, or maybe I got her name reversed, whatever. And Betsy Benham Fruta singing harmony on that. That's so B-side tomorrow night, Ripka's Cafe, 5:30. Thank
Oh,
you.
you wanted me to play that because it's a plug. I got it. Oh my God. I don't know anybody
said
who's
that
got
earlier.
a gig. I'm so happy you have a gig.
If you're going to be in marketing, you might as well be a whore. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm so happy you guys have a gig, you know?
Me too. No, seriously, it's very special. And I got a private party, and then my son Patrick and I are doing a gig up in Milford with Chris Bowers, who is the guy who ran the jam up in Milford. So you ran the Norwalk one, Wendy May ran the Westport one, Chris Bowers ran the one up in Milford, and it's going to be a trio, us doing that up there.
Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. All right, go to that. Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow, 5:30 B-side.
How's the weather going to be?
Perfect. I've been fretting that all week, but it's going to be perfect. Lobster roll, clam roll, and shitty Chardonnay. What more could you want out of life?
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Fantastic. All right, I got one more for you. I love this one. We all have our side projects. Michael has a side project outside of Last Minute Productions, and this is Rocksteady Collective. Check it out.
So much trouble in the world.
So much trouble in the world. Bless my eyes this morning. Just sun is on the rise once again. Way earthly things are going. Anything can happen. You see them sailing on their real trip. Blast off on their spaceship. Million miles from reality. No care for you, no care for me. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in the world. All you gotta do is give a little, take a little, give a little, one more time, yeah. Give a little, take a little, yeah, yeah. So you think you found a solution? But it's just another illusion. So before you check out this time, don't you leave another cornerstone standing there behind. Yeah. We've got to face today. Oh, we've come one day. The street people talking. Yes, people are struggling. trouble. There is so much trouble. So much trouble. There is so much trouble in the world. There is so much
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There it is. I love that one.
Beautiful.
That's a great.
I love what Michael.
That's why I've been smoking weed all right.
Yeah, Hector just took a nosedive.
Where did Hector go? He dropped his phone. That was good. It was like, wow! You know?
1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor, right?
No tequila tonight.
All right, I got another alt uni ID one. I can't believe you have a boombox, Heidi.
I know, right?
Yeah, I had to do that because remember
Oh,
when
yeah.
people used to walk
Yeah.
around with them?
Hey, listen, that's coming
Yeah.
back. You can now buy a boombox again at Best Buy and Walmart, and there's a whole nother generation that's like, hey, I want to carry it around. And I was in Walmart the other day, and they're selling vinyl in Walmart.
Yeah.
They're selling vinyl. They're selling. I don't mean the fabric. I mean they're selling
right.
records in Walmart.
You know what's really weird and scary when you don't even realize how dated something is. And I had a girl here who's a millennial working on some music with me, and it's automatic for me to pull out cassette tapes and CDs and play stuff I wanted her to hear.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, she started laughing, and she goes, I can't believe you're playing cassette tapes. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have a lot of cassette tapes and CDs, but it didn't even dawn on me
I know.
that I was being so antiquated because I
Yeah,
still
let me
have.
get the Victrola out and crank it
Yeah,
up.
I pull up the gramophone. Yes.
I have students, and I ask them, like 16, 17-year-olds, I ask them, so do you own any music? And they go, what do you mean? And I go, well, do you own any music? And they go, well, I can listen to any song in the world in 1 second on my phone, on my watch, you know. And I'm like, no, but do you own anything? And they go, they don't even understand. They don't even understand the idea of downloading a file.
Yeah.
That's old, you know.
They'll,
And
they'll never know the exquisite psychosis of obsessing on an album cover and album notes for hours. There's something about that.
Because
Or
you had
rolling a joint on one of them.
But I'm not really being facetious. It was,
Or putting a coin on the needle. The
Oh, hell
feeling
yeah.
of putting a needle.
Yeah,
to give
that,
enough
that
weight.
new album feeling.
Yeah.
Oh,
A nickel if it's really bad. A penny usually works, but a nickel if it's really bad.
yeah, that's like putting a snowplow on the grooves. It's,
Do we all have a turntable here? Does everybody here have a turntable? I do.
I have one
I
somewhere.
get rid of mine.
I have one somewhere, but because I've lost it in storage, I was actually looking at turntables at Walmart.
Yeah.
But then I don't even remember where all my records are. I have records at my other house, so I don't know. Maybe
Go
after.
look at the Salvation Army. I gave mine to the Salvation Army.
No, it's true.
Our
And then-
albums were the chapters of our lives, though. They were a
Album-
story. Each album was a sort of a concept.
I know.
Cassettes,
I missed
right?
that.
Mixtapes,
Yeah.
reel to reel. I had
I
a
remember
reel.
that. Hell yeah.
8-track. Remember 8-track?
Track. I have it.
So
I had an exquisite album collection all my life, and it got destroyed in a flood. You know, all the paper sleeves just melted into the grooves, and after trying 3 albums to make it right, I'm like, fuck. Yeah. All,
Yeah,
That's
all
heartbreaking.
pluggers and
That
yeah, you know,
sucks.
like 10 boxes.
Hold on.
a shame. So,
But they are things, you know. It's media. It's not like a file. It's some ethereal thing. It's an actual physical thing that
Right,
you
so what were you
tend to
gonna
love.
You were going to put your record up on the mantelpiece so you could look at it like a poster. And then you
Absolutely.
would read the liner notes, because the alternative was like scratching your knee or like nothing else to do. There was nothing else to
true.
do in those days, you know?
That's very true.
Really nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, I'm gonna play something from those days. Here we go.
Rock and roll.
My cat's a rocker cat. He wanted to come over. He's like, who's talking? I can't see who that is.
Look at that.
So I've got one right now. This is really interesting. Oh, he's got to go. I did this track. I was asked by Frank Tasso to do a track with him the other day, and he played it on his show, and I'm going to show it right now. Kind of a cool track. I'm going to do a kind of cool thing with it. Check it out.
Well, they burned down the Chicken Man in Philly last night, and they burned down his house too. On the boardwalk, they're getting ready for a fight. Gonna see what the Rocket Boys can do. There's trouble busting in from out of state, and the DA can't get no relief. There's a rumble out on the promenade, and the gambling commissioner's holding on by the skin of his teeth. Everything dies, and baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Well, I got a job, put my money away, but I got the kind of debt that no honest man can pay. So I took what I had from the Central Trust, and I bought us 2 tickets on that Coast City bus. Everything dies, and baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Well, our luck may have died, our love's grown cold, but with you forever I'll stay. Well, we're going out tonight where the sands turn to gold. Put your stockings on, 'cause I might get cold. Now everything dies, and baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City. I've been looking for a job, but they're hard to find. See, there's winners and there's losers, and I'm just south of that line. I'm tired of ending up on the losing end. I met a man last night, gonna do a little favor for him. Everything dies, and baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Meet me tonight in Atlantic City.
That was
There it is.
fantastic.
Okay.
That was really wonderful.
The best thing about that video is that it actually gave me an incentive to put on pants for the first time this summer.
really Joaquin down the boardwalk in Atlantic City?
Yeah,
Is that
no.
what-
He was working around the boardwalk in Rye, New York at Rye Playland.
That's why you don't see me stand up, by the way.
When I saw that he did that, I was like, oh no, I gotta go out in the woods with my accordion, you know?
That was pretty
Really
cool.
well done. Really well done.
Gonna take it on the road, get out and like get in the woods, you know?
You were the soloist on that one, Ed, huh? They had no lead guitar player. You were the soloist.
I was the soloist on that one, exactly. All right.
Nice job.
Check these kids out.
Amazing.
So good, those kids, right? The boys. They used to come to my
Really
jam at the Willows when they were like 6 and 5, or like they were like little tiny kids. And they'd come to the jam and just like they were getting started. And now they're amazing, like world class. All right, I got one more featuring Heidi. Hang out and watch this.
Yeah.
With a million flowers a day. Hey, now I can hear the angels sing songs that only angels sing. He's such a heavy thing. I can feel my heart just a thumping and a skipping when I'm kissing my love. Pumping in my veins, hey now I'm kissing my love. He's such a tender tender with a strong hey. Ooh, bless his head, now he's so good at what he does. All I wanna do is kiss it up, and he's got real love. I can feel my heart just jumping and skipping when I'm kissing my love. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Put your foot on the rock and pat your foot, don't stop. Put your foot on the rock. Hey now when I'm kissing my love, I feel the blood just a pumping in my veins. Hey, when I'm kissing my love, he's such a tender tender with a strong hey. Bless his name now, he's so good at what he does. All I wanna do is kiss and hug. He's got a real love. I can feel my heart just a loving and a skipping when I'm kissing my love. Oh yeah. I
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
That was fun.
Nicely
That
done.
was great. And I think I might have had a nightmare about what you're wearing on your head. Like when I first
That was
saw
funny.
that, when I first saw it, it was like, oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh my
It's actually a mask, but it can be
Yeah.
worn here or here. So yeah.
It's looking at the King Kong movie or the new Batman.
Oh my God.
It was working for you. It was cool.
Thank you. And these are the new COVID nightmares from
Yeah.
COVID apparel.
Oh my God. It's true. And these collaborative videos, they keep me sane because I'm a band musician. I'm not a soloist, I mean, I'll sit around and play the accordion for myself and whatever, but I'm not a singer, songwriter. I don't sit down and play my guitar on a stump somewhere. I'm like, I got to have a band. I got to have something I'm working on. And at least this gives me a feeling like I'm playing some music.
Well, as a bass player,
It
it's the
is.
same thing. It's
Right.
like, I want to play with somebody. I don't want to sit in my
Right.
room and go bum 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 bum.
Right.
What song is
Right.
this? Bum 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 bum. What song is this one? Bum bum bum.
I have about 6 basses sitting over there, and I'm like, "Hi, girls." I need a deadline and a set list, and then I'm fucking all over.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
When you have that deadline,
Oh yeah,
if it's just on your own, it's like, oh yeah, I'll get to
I
it
know.
later.
Yeah, it's the fear of sucking.
Yeah, letting other people down.
Very good motivator.
These collaborative videos are good for that. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we got to have it by this date.
Well, it's funny. I was telling Joe Mayo this earlier on the show, if anybody was watching, that I saw Bill Harris the other day. If you guys don't know who Bill Harris is, he's one of the great sax players in the world. He tours with Chic and like other great bands. His brother is a trumpet player, and they have like the Harris Brothers horn section. Whatever. They're phenomenal, like world-class guys. And I saw him at a show the other day, and he's a friend of mine. So I said, my God, Bill, how you doing? And he was telling me about his year and everything he's been going through. And then he said, yikes, during the first set, they threw me a solo on a song. And I was like, no, don't give me a solo because I don't know how to play anymore.
What am I supposed to do with this?
And I said, what do you mean you don't know how to play anymore? He was like, it just feels weird. Like, I don't know how to get this in here out of my saxophone anymore. I'm like, if Bill Harris doesn't know how to get it out of a saxophone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been playing. I've been trying to play. I'm learning some new instruments. This winter, I'm just going to be locked in all winter,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to learn all kinds of new instruments. I'm going to learn I'm going to do my own collaborative video editing because if I run out of ideas, I don't know what I'm going to do out here in the woods,
Mm.
I hear you.
Not good.
Chop wood. Do you have a fireplace?
Chopping wood. You know how much firewood I have outside? I've got like a board of firewood outside.
Right.
I don't even have a
That's
fireplace.
like for Monday through Wednesday, and then now what the hell do I do? Right?
Exactly.
It's Monday afternoon. Now what?
Yeah.
Well, so I saw this video the other day. I posted it on Facebook, and the crux of I was feeling weird. Like I was feeling like, why am I anxious, and why am I feeling like I don't know who I am, and like like everything's fine, everything's okay, and I've settled into this new thing. And why do I feel like that? There was this video that came on, and it talks about how work and the fact that we're stressed out and family and work and everything that we do is a distraction from the fact that we are these minuscule little things, sacks of protoplasm floating through the universe and in billion stars, whatever. And you're like nothing, and it distracts you from the fact that you're nothing. And then, and then when you're like, don't do anything for a couple of days, like people who retire, they retire, and then they're like, oh, what am I going to do now? Like you retired, Dennis.
I did.
Me too. Was it weird? Was it weird?
Not really, because when I retired, the first thing we did was sold our house in Utah, moved out here. So I wasn't just tired. I was just tired. I wasn't retired. But then once I got out here, got tied into the music, I've been busy.
Right.
So
and then the next thing you did was the Corona pandemic,
Yeah. You just got to keep yourself busy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Randy's that.
That's right. I didn't even know you were retired, Randy.
Yeah. Well, I had a big corporate job and I was traveling all the time. And for those who don't know, I walk like Frankenstein, and the traveling shit was getting real old real fast. So I pulled the disability ripcord while I had the chance and got a lawyer. And yeah, I haven't worked in 5 years. And
I didn't know that. I thought you were still traveling. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I miss the social aspect. I miss a lot of clients. I miss a lot of the employees. I don't fucking miss a 7 a.m. revenue call on Monday morning for anything. So that shit, you know, it's but to the larger point all you folks are making, you do have to provide a little structure to your day and have some missions and have some accomplishments. And the accomplishments may not be so fucking lofty. It could be like, you know, I got to get my car detailed soon. You know?
I took a shower today.
Right. I took a shower.
Not curing cancer here, but
I know where my pants are. That's what I did today. I know where they are. You know.
I put a necklace on for the show, and I actually have normal
There you
clothing
go.
on.
We
I'm
love it.
wearing pajamas and sweatpants
No,
every day.
we're so happy to have a pretty girl. Thank you.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. But Hector, of course, sits and plays his guitar all day, right?
No, I work all day.
You're working. You're busy.
I'm kind of glad that I'm working. Like, I had an offer to retire just last year for an early retirement, and I turned it down.
Oops.
You know, I wasn't ready. I was really, really glad I did, because I'm going to be able to like do this from home. I think from here on in. I don't think I'm going to go back, actually.
Right.
I feel like I've retired, but I've got this great part-time job that I do from home that I make the same money as I did before.
That's great. I mean, that's the way to go. I mean, you know, I went out.
Randy's right about getting up. I used to get my ass up at 5:42 a.m. every morning to catch a 6:40 train. And Ed, that was after I hung out and closed the bar with you. I would get up my ass at 5:42.
I had a 5:30 car sitting in my driveway, ready to take me to the 6 a.m. flight to, you know, or 7 a.m. to LaGuardia to go to Chicago.
How the hell did you do it?
It was killing me. It was really killing my soul. Then you know, stand in a security line and fly all the way out there for a 2-hour client meeting and try to get home. It was. They say actually that one of the things that's happening with COVID is that's not going to happen anymore. The notion of somebody getting on a flight to go halfway across the country for a 2-hour meeting, you know, the time, the time, the cost, the travel, when this could be accomplished on Zoom for 10 minutes, you know, in 10 bucks.
You've been doing it now for like all this time.
Yeah, but only a few years ago, it was almost like a sign of disrespect to your clients. It was like, shit, geez, couldn't get his ass on a plane and come out here and see me in person. Fuck him. So you had to do it.
Yeah, but see, when I was in business, when I was a young man, a cocky young man in venture capital, right, I was much more menacing when I showed up. You know, like I could show up in my suit and you know, and be like, all right, here, like intimidating. You can't be intimidating on a Zoom call. Like, oh, I have my jammies down, I'm not wearing pants. You know, how do you maintain your presence? You know, like,
well, were you were the money guy?
Yeah, I was a money guy.
Oh, you can be intimidating on Zoom if you're the money guy.
Right.
See this number? It's not yours now.
That's right. Exactly. Yes, Hasselby.
Actually, the day Chicago died, or whatever they call it, the day the music died for me was I was at GE. I was pitching GE on this deal. We're selling a company to them, and I went to the meeting, and I had my suit on, my Armani suit, my Hermes tie, and my fancy shoes, and my Rolex, or whatever. And I walk in, and they go, I'm sorry, Mr. Strain, nobody told you this is a business casual facility.
Yeah.
And I went, a what? Like it was like 1997.
Yeah, it sounds right.
And I'm like, business casual? What's business casual? They're like, oh, we don't wear ties and jackets. I said, well, I don't mind. That's okay. And they said, no, you have to take yours off.
Well, the only thing worse is doing that in reverse. And that happened to me with somebody that worked for me. With a client meeting, we show up, and fucking Beavis walks in jeans and a white shirt, and I'm like, come here. That's worse.
Right. My God. And I knew it was over then. I knew, like, that's like what people are going through now. Like, I'm not going to the office ever again because why? You know?
That reminds me. You just reminded me of what I was going to say to Hector when Hector said, I don't think I'm going to go back. in the movie Office Space. Did you ever see that one? I've seen it like 20 times.
Yeah.
When he says, I'm not going to go back. And Jennifer Aniston says to him, what do you mean? You're not going to work tomorrow? You're going to call in sick? He's like, no, I don't think I'm ever going to go back. I'm just not going to go back. I don't know if you saw it, but that line
was
cracked me up.
Hilarious movie.
I'm going to keep working, but I'm not going back.
I don't know how I could. It would be beyond.
I don't think I have to.
Yeah.
So Shanna used to go to work all day long, come home, and I'm retired. She goes, so what'd you do today? And I said, I don't know, but it took me all damn day to do it.
That's right.
I tell people that. It's like, I don't know what I did last Thursday, but I promise you this. I was not bored.
I was busy the whole day, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we were busy this whole show, and we're almost in the 4-hour mark. So really great to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good show, Ed.
You too.
Thanks.
This is a highlight.
Great.
I'm retired also, you know. I'm a
you are?
retired
Well, there you go.
I've been a teacher my whole life. And trust me,
Really?
I didn't have a minute of time.
Can you imagine teaching like part in person and part online now?
Only when I was really sick one time I had to do that. I did everything through Google Classroom not that long ago, and it was weird. So I know my friends are all like freaking out.
Like
What
2
level
days
did
a
you
week
teach?
you're with the
What
kids, and 2 days a week you're online, and like how do you
Yeah.
even do it?
How do you?
I'm
What?
so glad that I'm out now because I actually ended up teaching here in Texas too.
Wow.
And I'm so glad that I'm out because I mean the numbers here in Texas are not good. I wouldn't want to be going back.
Right.
What age did you teach? What level?
8th grade, 13, 14, and I started out elementary and then I switched to middle school but I've been teaching my whole life and I was ready and I was able to retire. I was at that point where I could do it. So
Teachers of the superheroes.
I'm teaching now. I'm teaching music to kids in Bridgeport, an inner city school, and I've never been a teacher before, so it kind of all happened by accident. John Konya got me into this gig before he passed away. Right? He literally on his deathbed, he said, "You got to take care of my kids at school." I was like, "I don't know how to do that." He went, "No, you know how to do it." So now, like, one of my kids is dropping a record on Thursday next week. And we made it this summer. Like we made the record. Him rapping into his iPhone and then does a Zoom call and we mix the songs and like it's a blast. But I can't imagine doing real teaching like that. You know,
You got to bring that on the show, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to. I tell him, I say, you want to come and watch my show sometime? You might be watching now. I say you got to come watch my show because it's not music like you do. It's different than because you know, he does hip hop and rap, and he's a
You learn something
prolific
from
rapper
everything.
and songwriter, and we produce in a whole different way, and the message and the words are so important. And it's like the band is not important. There's no band. It's it's all a backing track or but it's amazing for him to see this crazy music that what we do is just so foreign to him, and what he does is very foreign to us. You know. So yeah, I've got 2 kids. One that both have records coming out shortly. I was going to say in September. I mean, like in the next couple weeks. And one of them is like a pretty tough kid. He's a great kid, but he got a very tough image and a lot of profanity and all that. And he's amazing. And then the other one is like, I don't swear. Like he was like, should I put an explicit parent parental advisory on my record? And I said, you don't say anything bad. He goes, oh, that's the only reason you have to put it on? I thought you had to warn everybody. Like, you have to warn them. Of your, he thought it was like you're warning them of his talent, or something like that. But no, I'm like, you don't need to put that on there. He's like, I kind of want to put it on there. I'm like, you don't have one bad word in 18 songs on your album, And he's like,
you should put a warning on your show at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You can only say the words that George Carlin said you couldn't say on TV.
Right.
Those are the only words you can't say.
Well, the thing is, it would be people would probably tune in. A lot of people, because you know how they love controversy. If you start with a warning, explicit content,
Warning, warning, only for mature audiences.
Everybody's going to tune in.
Please
That's
do
right.
not report us to the FCC.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Exactly. I don't listen to the FCC.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. You have a
Okay.
great night. Super
Can
good
I
to
do a
see you.
public service announcement?
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
So if you watch on Facebook on your iPad or your iPhone, you can hit all the buttons and just sit and do a flurry of likes. You can't do it on a computer for some reason.
Nope, you can't. So
So-
everybody give me a flurry of likes. I like it.
Oh, okay.
So if you get over there, you can just sit and hit it as many times as you can, and you'll get 500 likes.
Yeah,
Until
But you have to hit mute or we'll be in echo hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, sorry.
All right, all y'all. Good to see you. Thanks
Thanks.
for being on the show. I'll see you really soon.
Thank you.
Hey, all y'all, support Jam TV. Go to Venmo and PayPal and show me the money. No, your support would be greatly appreciated on the show. It would be so awesome if you did that. And now I'm going to leave you with the last 5 minutes of the show. You know what's going to happen. Here he is, Steve Wexler.